Have to be a mother who murders to be here.
I mean, I'm a mother who has murdered.
We
Just
live.
kidding. Whoops. I just
It's
fucking
fine. I
with
don't
you.
care who you are. She didn't do no
I got
murder.
my mama
Definitely.
bear sweater on just so that I'm on brand.
Nice. Do mom bears murder their kin? I mean, their babies?
I feel like probably, if they're
Nah,
weak or
I don't think
whatever.
so.
You don't think
I don't
so?
think so.
Mm,
I don't think so.
you don't know though, so it
Maybe
could
if
be
they're
true.
hungry, but I don't know about the rest of
Like if
that.
they're sick, a lot of like animal kingdom will kill their young if they're like sick or injured.
Dude, a lot of the animal kingdom will kill their young to get the bitch in heat again so she wanna fuck more.
Oh, damn.
I know. We're not animals when you really think about it like that.
They're not wilding out.
I mean, okay.
Okay, hi
Do you
friends.
Kufa, good morning. Mr. Squabble, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
I can't hear, myself in my headphones, so you'll have to modulate me. I don't know the words.
Why would you have to hear yourself? I can't hear myself in mine.
Well, I can hear myself out here, but I
Mhm.
can't hear myself coming through the headphones, so I hear the muffledness of myself. I like to be able to match my
Oh.
sound to your level,
Oh, gotcha.
but I have to do headphones today because I'm gonna to use both ears, the other ones. It's frustrating. Okay, let me get comfy. Do you know what filicide is? Have you heard the word before?
Filicide?
Filicide, yeah.
What kind of murder is that?
It is, um, is this what let me see.
It's like family? Is that family murder?
Uh-huh. It's when the filicide is the deliberate act of a parent killing their own child.
That's wild. Can you imagine? I mean, I've wanted to. Like my kids have where's my drink? My kids have gotten on my nerves so bad before that I'm like, I will murder you, but I've never,
If
done
they
it.
come up murdered, they're gonna play this in court.
I know. Whoops.
There's this guy who, he's like a internet guy. I don't know, he's been around for a while, but he dates sort of like slow chicks, allegedly, this is the rumor, and he was dating one, had a few kids, and then one day, they were like, "Hey, where's your chick?" He's like, "Oh, her. About 4 months ago, I dropped her off at a gas station." "Wait, what?" Like, "Yeah, she probably come back. She's a free spirit." But he has kids. Damn, I shouldn't have smoked before because now I forgot why I even said this.
He
Fuck.
has kids? Did he
He
murk his kids?
No, they're still alive. Hmm. It's like a rabbit hole, but it's also a snake hole. It just kill you, and there's no thoughts down there.
Yeah, it turns out, that doesn't have anything to do with familicide or
What
filicide.
what you said something before that that triggered that, though. I don't remember. That'd be my bad. That's
Oh, I
gonna
said I
happen a
was gonna
lot.
kill my kid?
Oh, no, no, no. Okay, thank you. That is right. So he's doing all these interviews, and he's like this the way that he talks about it is very much like like, I think you would talk about it if you didn't do it, but people are like, "Dude, why is he doing the 'if I did it, I'd do it this way' thing?" I'm like to me, I'm like, "'Cause he didn't do it, so he feels like this is a safe thing to say to the public,"
Oh.
but he's doing the other thing, and half the people are like, "Oh, listen to what he's saying. This is crazy." I'm like, I know. Yeah, thank you for
So
pulling
that
me out of this.
they've still never found her body?
She's as far as I know, we talked about this maybe 2 weeks ago. As far as I know, she's still a missing person. Um Morning, Sid. The Reverend's here. We
Good
can
morning, good morning.
show can commence. Gonna have to do some prayers today. Okay, so yeah, that's filicide. It is the act of killing your own child.
So why is one filicide and one infanticide? Is it
Because
that's anybody's infant or is
infant
it
is within the first year. So infanticide is the killing of an infant. It can be done by the mother, the father, or another person.
Oh,
It
okay.
may be motivated by various factors such as birth control, social stigma, and environmental conditions. Now, if Nova was here, he'd tell me this was legal, and so I tried to look that up, and it used to be legal in a lot of states. I can't figure out which
To
ones it's
kill your child?
within the first year of its birth because of how mental you are. I mean, in
Okay.
Virginia, you could, like, deliver the baby, it'll be kept comfortable, and there can be a conversation between the mother and the doctors. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
You
that's
were talking
so
about
fucking
late-term
wild.
abortion? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That is
Yeah, we're
why. So
gonna
that's the difference. I thought this was infanticide, but it turns out filicide is just I'm learning this morning that filicide doesn't just mean the mom did it. So
just
I could have
means
included a lot more stories, like Chris Watts, where he killed his a lot of
yeah.
okay, there are stats. Let me see if I can find out. More holistic understanding of filicide. There are stats that talk about, like, if the kid gets murdered in the first year, it's usually the mom. The dad
Mhm.
usually kills the older kids. Um,
Way to split up the work.
the well, this is the only crime that the that women commit on par with men.
Yeah, that's wild.
Killing our children, like, fucking equality, man. We doing
We've
it
been
wrong.
begging for it. Yeah.
We're not doing this right.
Way to go, women.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? And there's some
Yeah.
other is this
Well,
the
just as
study?
as a mom, I don't get it. Like I mean, I don't understand like what would bring you to murder somebody anyway. I mean, but your own child, your own flesh and blood that you've had that like immediate love for, that unconditional and like the only thing like as a mom myself, the only thing I like ever thought of was like what can I do to protect my kids and like I would give up my own life for them and to just so like viciously and callously and without remorse or like conscious like take your own child's life. I just like my
Some
brain
of
doesn't
these
like get it, you know? It's like what goes wrong in your brain that
well, have you ever had a demon talk to you?
I mean, I
Yeah,
got an older sister.
they're they're very convincing, you know? Some of
Yeah,
these
but come on, they can't all be like
well, there's the in their mind
schizophrenics.
well, they're obvi I would go out on a limb and say they're all mentally unstable, the ones we're gonna talk about today.
Well, sure, unstable, but there's a difference between unstable and hearing voices that are telling you to kill your kids.
Well, I would say in half of these, it's the voices, and the rest of them is just
You think?
oh, they say, like, "Jesus told me," or "I was trying to a
Oh.
voice in my head said this," or "I was trying to save them from this." One's an exorcism they perform oh, I'm not actually gonna talk about the exorcism one that was performed, but they fucking whew, the stuff that they did to this kid. That was a stepdad. I wonder if step-parents is a different word. Let's look.
Oh,
S
because it's not really family.
just murder. Who kill, children? Kids? Let's see. Uh, the Cinderella effect explains why step-parents may be a danger.
Hmm, the Cinderella effect, I've never heard of that.
Oh, shit, next Monday we could do there's 14 cases of children murdering their parents.
Oh, yeah, we can do
We're
it.
all
So this is Mothers Who Murder Monday, and next week we could do Mother May I Murder.
oh, yes! Oh my god, you're so clever. Could you please run my social?
That's gonna cost you. You
Well,
c
could you do it for free? And
No, I can't do it for free. Can you send cash in the mail?
I could send some. I could send some cash. Some
Cash.
cash. Wow, there's a so I don't know if there's a name for it. It could just be Cinderella effect. Wow. Parents who kill girl significant this is never mind. Significant other.
While you're looking at that, I think murder is one of the things for me, it's hard. Like, I don't understand how like, what drives people to that point. I mean,
Have
not
you
that I
ever
don't understand it, but it's like, man, where do you have to, like,
okay. There's a
murder, man?
I
That's
don't see a name for this.
for the step-parent thing, so it must just still
Mhm.
be filicide.
Just yeah.
Or you could Google, "Is it filicide if it's a stepchild?"
I should ask the AI. They could figure this shit out way faster than
Yeah,
me. Okay, is filicide that's why I am gonna go to the AI for this.
yeah. Is it still filicide if it's a stepchild? What's the AI? Do you got is there a certain search bar for
The
that?
AI is just gonna I'm gonna ask it the way that I wanna ask it, and it's gonna
It's gonna
look
tell
up
you
all the
about it.
information that it has access to and then give like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
it's just a language model, which it'll probably tell us every fucking time it answers our question. But the question is, we'll share this tab instead. Can step parents commit filicide? Well, I should ask Google that. Now I figured out the question. If I don't need AI. Filicide. The act of parent killing their own child can unfortunately occur in various circumstances. While it's more commonly associated with biological parents, there have been instances where step parents have committed filicide as well. The motivations and underlying factors can differ, but various psychological, emotional, and social elements might contribute to such tragic events. Well, there we go.
Okay, so it can be step-parents.
Yeah, legal repercussions for any act of filicide, regardless of the perpetrator's relationship to the child, is severe and subject to the specific laws of the are severe and subject to the specific laws of the relevant jurisdiction. Bam! We just got smarter, dude.
So much smarter. Thanks, AI.
We're gonna leave them up because we might need them again. Go ahead and close these other definitions because now we know. I looked up this morning. It says first known use in 1665. So I Googled 1665 filicide to find the first case. And well, I should have done that yesterday because I didn't have a lot of time this morning. But that's interesting, right? Like this isn't because the world
Yeah.
is worse problem.
We've been killing our kids for a long time. What was the first one?
Well, I didn't actually find it.
Oh. I was say they probably don't have great records from the 1600s.
I know, right? Maybe they just made that up. So, yeah. Okay, so
You're
I
like,
was
"Oh,
talking
man, those sisters are on their bullshit again. Quick, put something on Wiki."
well, I was talking to Vicky last night. We had a show, Cool Frog did church yesterday, last night. After church, we were talking about murder, mothers who murder,
Oh,
and
good.
she's like, "Oh, did you bring up La Llorona?" And I'm like, "No."
My
So
Sharona. Oh.
la 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 Llorona. No. And so I Google it while she's there, and it says the crying woman or the wailer is a Mexican vengeful ghost who is said to roam near bodies of water, mourning her children who she drowned in a jealous rage after discovering her husband was cheating on her. The earliest
Wait,
documentation of La Llorona is traced back to 1550 in Mexico City. So I feel like Wiki needs to update this shit on the filicide page.
but it's not filicide. She didn't Oh, no, she
Yeah,
didn't
she
kill her
did.
kids.
It
Yeah,
says
yeah.
she drowned
So her
them.
husband cheats on her, and she's like, "I'll show you. Fuck these
Yeah.
kids." What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how terrifying you're, like, in the car and your mom's just like, "Hold your breath." You know, like, the one person that's supposed to, like, protect you and care for you is you have to,
Yeah.
like, watch a sibling get murdered, and then you're just, like, getting murdered. I can't even imagine how terrifying that would be.
Ref said, "Everyone should be thankful I don't listen to the voices inside my head." Good morning, beautifully. She said, "Good morning, fam."
Good morning. So oh, man.
Say more.
Well, no, I'm just, like, if you believe in
Tripping.
reincarnation,
Mhm.
if or, like, ghosts or, like, all of the things, like, let's say you're a kid and your mom murders you. Do you come back? What do you come back as? You get to be something really great because your first life got fucked? And or if you get to be a ghost, like, do you fuck with her for the rest of her life? Do you just drive her crazy? I would.
Yeah. First of all, I heard about a ghost that brings brownies, and I can't remember where I heard that from. Might be a lie from Friday
You're
night's
definitely high.
ghost meeting. Yeah.
It's just wishful thinking, sister.
Um, so I would doubt they get them type of ghosts. Let me think. I believe in the soul's reincarnation in well, I guess I was gonna say in an unconventional way, but I guess they're all unconventional, right? I think that yours so the soul knew that this was what's gonna happen. We all sit with God before and we choose like we know what's gonna happen. We sit together and we choose how it begins, how it progresses, and how it ends. And I believe déjà vu, when you're like, wait a minute, I've seen this before. I believe those
Oh,
are moments where you remember those times where you sat with God. If you try to apply too much conscience to them, they go away. But that's kind of how I believe it. So
okay.
I think the soul is always searching for lessons, and the humanness of us, our flesh can't necessarily understand those, but that's kind of irrelevant. We're a soul is eternal, and this flesh is just for this experience.
Yeah.
So it's your soul knows it. In my theory, your soul knows enough that's like I want to be a girl who goes through. whatever. I wanna be a army lady who loses a leg because I, in my last life, wasn't compassionate enough or didn't understand whatever it was, whatever
Oh,
lesson
I see what you're
your
saying.
soul feels like it needs to be whole or complete or balanced or whatever,
Okay.
that's what we get. So this soul, I believe, doesn't go back to God and be like, "Whoa, that was a trip. What's next?" I think it goes, "Whoa, that's not how I thought it would be. What's my next experience?" I don't feel like, does that make sense?
Yeah, I
The
mean, I
way
see what
I
you're saying.
see it, I
Yeah.
don't, but then again, I'd be like, "I wanna do the dying. I wanna do the my mom kills me filicide death for this soul, but can I come back and haunt her as part of, the
Yeah.
package?" Maybe
When she
that's how
gets
I'd play it
pregnant with
out.
twins and me and the siblings she just killed, we're like, "We're back."
Yes. But do you look like the lady that your husband cheated with? No, then she'd kill you again. Never mind, bad
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, can you get
Yeah.
murked twice? That would suck.
Yeah, you totally can. I mean, if your soul has different experience incarnation, then you get, I mean, there's a lot of death that probably happens.
Yeah, just over and over again.
Yeah, my theory kinda sucks the more I think about it. Endless death.
It's a
So,
loop.
yeah, this one might be the first filicide according,
Yeah,
because ChatGPT or, not Chat, what was this?
that's
Merriam-Webster's dictionary thinks that the first known oh, the use of the word, not the committing of the crime.
oh, god, that makes sense.
Let's
They
ask
could have been doing it
ChatGPT.
before then and just not had a word for it.
When was the first filicide? One of the most famous accounts of filicide is the Greek myth of Medea, who in, I don't know, Europe, I don't know these words, in a play, oh, I feel like I'm trying to read Chinese. She kills her
Medea.
own children in a play?
Yeah,
Ancient Greece has been a prominent cultural
revenge
reference. Does
against her
this make it
husband.
real?
So wait, this is the same story as the crying lady. But this one is saying it's a Greek myth, the other one's saying in the 1600s it was real life. So I wonder if either one of them are actually true.
Well, this one
Because what
has
are the chances that they're both the same thing?
a probably more than 50-50.
You think so?
Yeah, there's not that many reasons to kill your kids. You can't even think of one, and you have 2 kids.
Yeah, but my husband, like, I just yeah, that seems like a really dumb reason. Like, he
Well, that
cheated,
is
and
a really dumb reason, but, like, it's they still use it. I mean,
yeah, we got Greeks and Mexicans doing it. That doesn't make sense.
yeah, it does.
All right,
I was looking for
what
this.
are the
They have a
Asians
whole
doing? They got
statue.
anything?
The Asians, they kill their babies if they're girls before, oh, wait, that's not, I don't know how it works.
I think they're allowed to have girl babies, but you can have one more. But if you have a boy first, you can't have any more. Is that right? Like, you get two
I think
chances to
that's
have a
all
boy.
old school. I don't think they do any of that
Oh, is
anymore.
that not true anymore? I don't know how it works.
Okay. So this La Lorna, La Llorona,
La Llorona.
La La Llorona, she so Vicky asked me, "Are you gonna talk about her?" Which, yeah, Vicky, we are. But very cursory because this is it. She killed her kids and there's
Mm,
a statue, it's from 1500. But she also said, "Oh, are you gonna talk about the lady who just killed her kid and then jumped off a bridge or something?" And I was like, "Wait a minute. No. There's a lady in California that a week ago stabbed her kid." I'll show you.
Jesus.
Um, California mother stabs, is this the kid? Oh, sad. I don't wanna show you guys that. California mother stabs five-year-old daughter dead, tries to kill her 10-year-old son, and
Oh
her
my
husband calls the
God.
police, right? So the day I'm looking for this story and for stories of this pops
Mhm.
up. I'm like, "What? That's weird." Vicky last night, she's like, "Are you gonna talk about the one where she kills her five-year-olds?" She said she was saying it plurally and then jumps off the bridge. And I was like, "I think so. I think this what I'm gonna talk about because there's this lady called Lindsay Clancy who killed her kids and tried to jump out. She tried to kill herself. She jumped out her
Mhm.
window, second story. So those 2 stories I have in my head, and I'm like, "I think these are the ones Vicky's talking about," but on the off chance that there was an actual 5-year-olds found dead after them and their mother killed themselves, I looked, and there is.
Oh
People magazine, 5-year-old twins found dead in Florida home after mother jumps to her death from bridge.
my
How in the
god.
world are there this many stories? Just this I started this because at the beginning of the year, it, like, started with a mother killing all her kids in some state. I was like, "What the fuck?" So I was like, "Dude,
Jeez.
2023 is, like, the year of these moms doing this." So I started looking into it, and, I mean, this month seems to be particularly, gruesome, but in general, this isn't the numbers aren't higher this year than
Yeah.
regular, but how
Man, that's
fucking wild is
crazy.
this? I don't know, I've never read this. Katoria? Katoria Hutto, 31, was identified as the woman whose body was retrieved from a body of water. The Seminole County Sheriff's Office in Florida is investigating the death of a mother and her 2 young twins. On Friday, Sheriff Dennis Lemma spoke to reporters at a news conference about what law enforcement say is an isolated murder-suicide. According to the sheriff, early Friday morning, deputies with the department responded to a call from an eyewitness who saw a motorist stop their vehicle on the crest of the bridge. Their caller told officials that a woman seemed to slide out of the passenger window of her car and jumped into the St. John River in what appears to be an attempt at suicide. What?
I wonder why she didn't just open the door.
She must have just pulled up to it and yeah, I don't get it.
Maybe she thought if she got out and walked around, she would reconsider it. Instead, she just jumped out, like, right where she was at, maybe?
Did she actually succeed?
Yeah, it says they pulled her body.
Oh, yeah, murder-suicide. The victim was 31. She would have turned 32 on the yesterday.
Oh, happy
What
birthday.
the fuck?
That's crazy.
5-year-old twins. Could you have postpartum for 5 years?
I mean, at some point, like, postpartum depression just turns into, like, depression. Postpartum is a defined period, and I don't think it can I could be wrong, but I think it's just the first year. But I mean, I'm not an expert, so I don't know. But 5 years seems like you could have had 3 other kids by then.
So it says they went into her home, do a well check on her children. The children appeared to be sleeping, saw no signs of trauma. However, they did find a firearm on a bedroom floor in the residence. Some live rounds were on the ground. There's not much food inside the house. There's not much furniture inside the house. It looked like the family may have been struggling. She was driving a Beamer, wasn't she? What is
I
that? I think it was a Beamer.
can't tell.
Maybe it's just a Honda.
But it looks nice either way. I mean, it doesn't look like an old clunker.
Well, you don't have a nice car, no fucking couch. His
Right.
priorities are fucked up. Okay. So that's happened this week. The other one was we don't really know how those kids died, but the other one in California here was she stabbed her kid, a 5-year-old.
Dude. And stabbing takes a while to die. They don't even die instantly because you gotta wait for 'em to bleed out.
Doesn't
So
that
when you
happen quick, like in a couple of minutes?
yeah, but still, like, pause and don't say anything for 60 seconds. It's so fucking long.
Madcore and I did that on a show one time. Somebody
Did
was
you?
bitching that we talk too much. I was like, "Oh, really? Hold on, Madcore. Let's show them why we talk too much." And we
Yeah.
just sat there, waited and waited as long as we could wait, and finally like, how fucking awful was that? Like, this is why we talk.
Yeah. And your
No, but
kid's just
strangling, I
screaming.
think, is the one that is the because you can what this woman does, she stabs her 5-year-old and she goes chasing after the other one. No,
Yeah, the other one's probably like,
police
"Fuck that. I'm outta here."
said police say that she stabbed the victim while the father was at work. Oh, I thought he called 911. Huh.
Dude.
Willfully, unlawfully, feloniously well, for the willfully, unlawfully, and feloniously, and with malice forethought. Bitch, they threw the book at you, literally. Wow.
Like, ain't got any more adjectives we could use?
That is so wild. The abuse charge is in connection with the defendant's 10-year-old son. Wait, the child abuse oh, she got charged with whatever she was doing to
Yeah.
him. I bet he had to that's her? Oh boy, she
She
looks familiar.
She looks evil.
That's I'm glad you said that. As we look at these women, uh, some of them I'm like, "What? She doesn't look evil at all." Some of them like this where it seems pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Beautifully says, "Oh my god, we have scary rain."
Um,
Hey, PB.
what state
Postpartum,
are they
she's,
in?
UK,
Oh,
the state of confusion. Postpartum is a depressive state that begins after childbirth. It can certainly last a long time. Yeah, because it's, like, messed up hormones, but you think 5 years is a long time.
yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not an expert on it, but 5 years just seems like a long like, at what point does it stop being postpartum depression and it's just regular
Depression.
depression? Yeah. Like, man,
But
turns out you was depressed anyway.
if that's do you always get, like, postpartum like, you can have bipolar depression,
Mhm.
right? Isn't that just a signifier of how, "Oh, that's how you got it, not how it
Or what
is."
precipitated it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had postpartum depression with Bryson, like, really bad, like, where I couldn't bond with him, I didn't really wanna hold him, um, and it lasted about 6 months, and then I was fine, and did really good up until he was, like, 2 and then started to develop just regular depression, so it wasn't called postpartum anymore, it was, like, postpartum, like, immediately following, and then when I got depressed again, I was just
Um,
depressed.
postpartum psychosis, depression.
So postpartum psychosis is very rare.
The depression part says it's a mood disorder involving intense psychological depression that typically occurs within 1 month after giving birth, lasts more than 2 weeks, and is accompanied by other symptoms such as social withdrawal, difficulty in bonding with the baby, and feelings of worthlessness or guilt.
Yeah,
So it has to be longer than 2 weeks. That's part of it.
but there's not a maximum.
Yeah, so it probably what happens is that's the normal fluctuation of your hormones trying to get
Yeah.
themselves back to what you need without having a baby in there. And so it's yeah, if it's after that, then it's probably why they start calling it
Yeah, I wonder
a
the hormones are all
disorder.
fucked up. You just grow a whole other person.
Yeah. Do you so yeah. If you have a girl baby, do you have extra girl hormones? And if you have a boy baby, do you have extra boy hormones?
Oh, that's a good question because I'm trying to think, does the baby's blood transfer, like, cross the placental barrier back into the mom's body? But it must because, like, sometimes, like, when people have to get RhoGAM because their blood types don't match, basically the mom's blood attacks the antibodies in the baby's blood because it sees it as a like foreign, sees it
Mhm.
as bad. So it must cross over. I don't know. That's a good question. Ask Chat GPT.
I wanna ask my real chat. They smarter than this bot.
Yeah, that's true. All
Apparently,
right. I'm going to walk outside.
it happens to
I'm
others
still
too.
here
Okay.
though.
Okay. Alright. So wonder if they show a picture of the lady who did the dead in Florida. No, just her car. Okay, you said you're still here? Oh, she muted.
No, I'm still here.
Okay, so I just wanna make sure that I was talking to you. So this lady called Lindsay Clancy, have you heard that name? She's in the news a lot right now.
No, I don't watch the news at all ever.
Okay.
This is my
Sh
news.
This happened when did this happen? January 25th of this year. This must have been the first one I heard. I bet you this is the one where I was like, "Holy shit, this year is whack." S Rev said he'll be gone for an hour and a half now. Accurate. It's in our blood. Okay. She's okay. So this lady called Lindsay Clancy, her husband is named Patrick. She had 3 children. The youngest one was, I believe, 8 months old.
Ugh, it's just a baby.
We'll learn as we go as we listen to this. Oh, this is before he okay, yeah. Um, where does it say their ages? Okay, yeah. I just said, "Okay, yeah," a lot right now. Cora, 5, Dawson, 3, and 7-month-old
Jesus.
infant. They'll say his name later. Yeah, 7 months old. So she's in that
Shoot.
window of postpartum
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
But she has other shit happening with her. Let me
And if
show
she
you.
developed postpartum after each one, by the time she was probably, like, able to, like, get her hormones right and get out of that postpartum, she was getting pregnant again. That just throws your hormones way out of whack all again, so she was probably fucked up for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, I would say also okay, so there's so much to this. So this is the actual story. She has her kids with her. She calls CVS and says, "Hey, do you have stool softeners for little kids?" And they're like, "Yep." She's like, "All right, thank you." And then she calls in food from a restaurant,
Oh, I have heard this story, but go ahead.
and then she tells her husband, or she asks her husband if he would go pick it up.
Mhm.
He leaves the house to go pick up food. He says he's home all day before this. He's working from home. He leaves, they goes to get the food, goes to CVS, and comes back, and he goes up to their room, the door's locked. This is what he says, the door's locked, but he sees blood on one of the windows, runs downstairs, goes outside to see what the hell happened. Lindsay's on the ground. He calls 911 and stays with her until the cops come. The cops show up, they go in to the back. As the cops get there, they say the man, what's his name again? I
Clancy.
forget already. The man, he gets up and goes to look for his kids. So he says when he comes back from the chores,
Mhm.
his house was really quiet, too quiet. So as
Yeah.
soon as she starts getting medical attention, he goes inside to look for the kids. He goes to the basement and he finds all 3 of their bodies. She has strangled them with exercise bands,
Oh my god.
all 3 of them, even the 7-month-old. Yeah.
And
But
didn't one of them make it to the hospital and then, like, was declared dead a few days later?
yeah, he did. I think it was 2 days. Callan, did I already say Callan? I think his name was Callan.
That's crazy.
Um,
And she's paralyzed now, right?
right, she did get paralyzed when she jumps out the window.
Good.
This is the unsealed search warrants. They just came out. They're kind of all the same thing. They're looking for her different things in the house, a laptop, the computers, her phones, any type of social or
Oh, and
interaction
that's
at
when they
all.
found, like, on her search history, like, how much Imodium does it take to kill somebody, right? And then she Googled the time she picked a restaurant that was kind of far, so, like, she knew how long it would take to get there and back.
Is that true? Because they don't say that in these docs.
If it's the same story that I'm thinking of, yeah. It's like when they went through all of her stuff, there was definitely searches on, like, how much like, what a lethal dose of the Imodium would be or whatever
What?
medication it was, and then the restaurant was, like, not particularly close. It was far, and she had trip searched it or whatever, MapQuest or whatever, how long it would take. So she knew, and
Okay.
she had
How
been
did you find
hospitalized
that
a
out?
couple of times for her depression,
Mhm.
and
Not only
because
hospital, yeah.
and she was having suicidal ideations, but homicidal ideations, and she had said that she thought she was gonna hurt the kids.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
What the shit? I think that's why he was home, because she had been for months talking about how she was honest. She's like, "Holy shit,
Yeah.
I wanna harm our kids, like, this is a problem." But she was on medicines that she was on are going to be listed here. I
Mhm.
didn't see this other part. Clancy, what would you call that? Search, ooh, search result? No, results is
Yeah,
not gonna
and
find.
they found, like, the reason so she's trying to claim postpartum psychosis, and the reason that the prosecution is saying that she doesn't meet the definition is because they found, like, her journals, and she has, like,
Yeah.
very clear connected thoughts. She's not like, she knows who she is and where she is, and, like, it seems very premeditated, like, with all the stuff they found, and so, like, part
Where
of,
do you
like,
I
postpartum
can't
I must
find
have
those
watched a
things. I
podcast on
wonder
this.
if see that so I wonder, is that the podcaster's idea? So I you know Nova.
Oh,
A lot of times there's it's like just the idea, like, did she? Because 'cause they're
I
searching
gotcha.
they're look that I'm not saying that that person is wrong, I'm just can't I wonder where
Yeah,
they see the results from this search warrant. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because they did
yeah.
look for a computer, they did take her notebooks, they did so in this one it says let me just read, I'm pretty sure in this, they're going to lay out the case. This is,
Okay.
um let me just read it. I tr this is 177 pages where not every single, item that they want, there's 24 pages of story, the
Damn.
same exact story, though, because each search warrant is standalone. So,
Okay.
in this, there's, like, 5 things maybe they're gonna search or 7 at the max. So, 7 times 24, there's 177 pages. We definitely don't have to look at them all. I went through a highlighted so that it would just be a little bit faster. Sorry if that's annoying because you won't be able to read it
No.
all, but it says, "I am Daniel Lawlor, he became a officer.
Mm,
Well, he was meant for it. I'm a trooper with Massachusetts State Police since January 2018. I've assisted an investigator in 17 homicides. I was assigned case officer in 3 of the homicides. Um, Based on the information herein related as a result of my own investigation efforts and those of the other investigators involved in this investigation, I believe that probable cause exists that Cora Clancy, Dawson Clancy, and Callan Clancy were the victims of the crime of murder occurring on January 24, 2023 at 47 Summer Street in the town of Duxbury. And evidence of the crimes will be located on the tablet that they're searching for. Investigation history. What was this last name? The following is a summation of events is not meant to include every possible fact known to investigators at this time. The basis that probable cause exists justifying the search warrant is as follows. Investigative history. On Tuesday, January 24th, at approximately 1811 hours, Duxbury Police dispatched radio all cruisers to respond to 47 Summer Street in the town of Duxbury for an attempted suicide where the wife, who was positively identified as Lindsay Clancy, born in 1990, had cut her wrists and neck and jumped out of the window from the second floor. Duxbury Police responded to the address, located Miss Clancy on the ground of the left side of the house. Located with Miss Clancy was her husband and the 911 caller. Oh, her husband and 911 caller, same guy, Patrick. They don't give us his birthday. That's weird. As Duxbury police officers were assessing Ms. Clancy, Mr. Clancy entered the home to check on his children. Duxbury police dispatched radio to officers that the husband, Mr. Clancy, was in the basement and something was wrong because his children would not wake up.
ugh,
Duxbury officers had heard extremely loud yelling and entered the home responding to the basement. In the basement, Duxbury police officers located Mr. Clancy and the family's 3 children, a 5-year-old, 3-year-old, and 8-month-old infant. The 3 children who were positively identified were all located in different areas of the basement. On the floor, not breathing and unresponsive. All 3 children were transported by EMS to Beth Israel Plymouth Hospital. Miss Clancy was transported by EMS to South Shore Hospital. Callan was medvaced, flighted to Children's Hospital in Boston. Police then secured the residence. A lot of the details about, them if you're interested in this, I can find a link, but it's really fucked, and I don't wanna read it. Officer Josephine so there's another officer guy who's gonna show up. Stated when he arrived, he noticed 2 vehicles in the driveway before he went to the right of the house, and Officer Hall went to the left, trying to get to the rear of the home. Officer Josephine stated Officer Hall called him to the left of the home when he got there. He located Ms. Clancy on her back with blood in her mouth. Officer Josephine stated as he was going to the left of the home, Mr. Clancy was on the left side of the home and walked past him and entered the home. Officer Josephine stated as he was assessing Ms. Clancy, Duxbury Police Dispatch radioed something about the home's basement. He was unsure about the transmission before he heard extremely loud screaming coming from the house. Officer Josephine stated he entered the home through the rear sliding door, which was already open. Yeah, the screaming for me. It's like,
yeah,
you can't even imagine what that sounds like on their body cams. The
yeah,
sound of a man here, like, finding his own children.
yeah,
That's something that Officer Josephine will never unhear.
yeah, for sure.
Officer Josephine stated Mr. Clancy was still screaming. Officer Josephine stated he went down the basement stairs and turned right. It was divided into a left and right side. Mr. Clancy came out of the far right room and stated she killed the kids. He entered the rear room and believed he observed 2-year-old lying on his back, unresponsive, was blue and purple in his face. He stated he believed he saw bruising on the child's neck. He stated there was blue resistance bands next to the child's head. He stated he grabbed the child and ran him up the stairs and out the front door into an arriving ambulance. Uh,
Jesus.
yeah. Officer Hall stated he turned right and saw the husband coming out of the rear, stating, "Oh my God, oh my God." And he was breathing heavily. Officer Hall stated when he exited the house the last time, he observed the window on the second floor, the rear left of the home. The window frame had blood on it when he was looking from the ground. Yeah, she like stabbed herself in the neck twice, I think, and then slit her wrists and then jumped out.
I'm
Didn't.
glad she's paralyzed.
I am too.
'Cause, man,
Patrick
what the
Clancy
hell?
stated that he had been married to his wife, Lindsay, for 6 years, and they had 3 children together. He stated that at the end of September 2022, Lindsay had stated that she was beginning to get anxious prior to her return to work at the Massachusetts General Hospital as a labor and delivery nurse. Patrick Clancy stated that Lindsay Clancy went to a psychiatrist who identified as Jennifer. She was prescribed Zoloft. He said Lindsay also saw another psychiatrist who identified as Rebecca. He said that Lindsay was also prescribed multiple other medications, including Valium, Trazodone, Activa, Klonopin, Prozac, and Seroquel. How do you feel about all those meds?
So, Zoloft is pretty standard, especially for postpartum depression. That's got like really good like results and stuff. But when you start adding other ones to it, oftentimes the side effect is increased suicidal ideations. I don't know about homicidal ideations, um, but it is a known side effect, especially when you start to add some other ones to it. So some of those are SSRIs, or like selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. And some of those are benzodiazepines. So some of those are helping to increase the serotonin in your body, which is your like happy hormones.
Mhm.
And some of the like benzodiazepines are more is a sedative. It's like for people with anxiety, they you take a
So
benzo
it's
to
Valium
chill
is a
out.
benzo?
Yes.
How okay, so Trazodone, is that a benzo?
Trazodone is I'm not sure what class it is, but trazodone is often given for insomnia. It helps you sleep.
Mm. Uh,
So,
A Ativan,
benzo, a very
Klonopin,
strong benzo.
Prozac?
Prozac is an antipsychotic
That wasn't working. Seroquel?
as for bipolar.
Oh, fuck. Patrick Clancy stated that Lindsay would take as many as 4 medications a day, however, she would take them as prescribed. He stated that he was home all day with the exception of when he left the residence to go to 3V and CVS. 3V is the food,
Yeah.
which they're gonna tell us that she only ordered 2 meals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like, "What the fuck?" Maybe they were really big, like a lasagna and,
Yeah.
something, but maybe she was just
She knew.
the kids was already out of the kitchen or maybe
Well, she's like, we don't want to waste a bunch of money. We're not going to be eating this
nobody's
shit
really gonna
tonight.
eat in this.
Well, because
Yeah.
she was planning on killing herself. So, you know,
Mhm. Was she though, or did she I mean, what
I mean, she slit her
I'm
wrists
s
and her throat and then jumped out a window. I would imagine that she was pretty serious about it.
but I wonder if that thought came before she did it. She's like, "Alright, them, and then me," or she did it and was like, "Oh my god, now me." Or
Oh,
how
I see
you
what
know
you're
what I'm saying?
saying.
That's
Yeah.
my question.
I don't know.
Do you think we could interview her? She can't run from us.
She could wheel away real fast.
We'll get one of those boom boxes and we'll hold it up with all our questions outside the hospital.
Is she still in the hospital, or is she in a
She's in
jail
psych
now?
ward, yeah, no,
Oh,
she's
okay.
still there. Well, I don't know actually today. She was when all this was done, so to tell you the truth, I have no idea. Rep said, "In all of these that we're gonna cover today, do we know their marital status?" We
Oh, good
will do our
question.
best to find those questions. This one was married. They've been married for 5 or 6 years, or 7 years, we might have said. Um, don't take SSRI. They have some major negative side effects if you miss a dose. Hey, Tedoj. Is this a fictional story or real? This is a real story. This woman
Real
killed her
life.
children. I'm looking at the, search warrant affidavits, and they are g this is real, though, so it happened in America.
It was Massachusetts? Is that right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Well done. Patrick Clancy stated that Lindsay stated that she had been having suicidal thoughts as well as thoughts of hurting the children. He clarified that she had communicated that she was feeling this way at the end of December. Patrick Clancy stated that Lindsay Clancy had reached out to her psychiatrist, Jennifer. He stated that she had self admitted herself to McLean Hospital on January 1, 2025, 2023 through the 5th. So she's not out of the hospital for 3 weeks before she does this
Yeah, which is crazy.
on a psych admittance.
And saying, I feel like I'm gonna hurt my kids.
Yeah. How do you feel if you're her nurse and you're like, "Just let her go home," or whatever, however that happens?
Yeah, dude.
Or him, and I know it's her fault, but the guilt that you must feel it's like these are the steps you take. You talk about it, you get a counselor, you admit yourself to the hospital. Oh, man, this is rough.
Yeah, so then who ultimately carries the culpability for that? Like, she's
Wonder why I
reaching
didn't
out, she's
highlight
saying she needs
this.
help.
Oh, shit, this might have been the part you're talking about. Let me keep reading. Let me keep reading this. I'm sorry, what was your question?
No, I said, ultimately, if you've done all the things, you've taken all the right steps, you have identified that this is how you're feeling, you went to your psychiatrist, nothing's working, you're still feeling that way, go to a mental health hospital, you stay there and they say, "Okay, you're good," or is it something where you're in there and you're like, "Okay, I don't feel this way anymore. I'm leveled out on they've got my medication straight," and you go home, but then you do it. Well, are you criminally responsible for that? Because you reached out, you tried to get help.
If she can't get an insanity plea, who can, right? Like, she's
Right.
crazy, and she's like,
Yeah.
don't you think? To me, that's how I see it. I'm like, "Fuck, dude."
No, agreed. Yeah. And I get it. I've never thought about hurting my kids, but there was definitely a time when they added a second antidepressant to my medication regimen. And I had been taking it for about 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden, I realized that I had literally spent 8 hours Googling, like, the best place to shoot yourself so that
Oh,
you
damn.
don't miss. Yeah, it was awful. And again, I did all the things you're supposed to do. Stop taking the medication, call my doctor, let my work know, gave all my weapons to a trusted friend. Um, so you do all those things, and a couple months later, I felt better. I was like, "Okay, I don't feel like I'm a danger to myself anymore," and my friend gave me my weapons back, So, but had I not been okay or had gone back into feeling that way and then actually done it, like, is the person who gives you back your weapons
No.
responsible?
Responsible.
No.
Yeah. No, I don't think responsible. I just wonder the thought process. I just think of,
You can't help but feel
it's not
guilty though.
survivor's guilt, but there's gotta be a name for it,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, I think you would definitely feel guilty. Like, man, what did I miss? Was she full of shit when she said she was okay? Or did I m d are we pushing people so fast out of these like, our
Mhm.
mental health care system is so broken and so underdeveloped considering, if this was a heart attack, we would treat it so differently and take it so much more seriously, and, um, was it a payment issue, like, "Okay, well, this is getting expensive and insurance isn't
Right.
covering, so let's send her home and do this on as an outpatient," like, you just
Yeah.
wonder what all of the things are, and could anything have been done differently in the healthcare system to prevent these 3 deaths? And who knows?
Yeah. Like, it's wild. It's wild. Like, how
Mhm,
yeah. I wonder if, so supposedly, if as you get older, they say that the gateway medication is cholesterol. Like, if you're fine, the first thing your doctor is gonna give you, like, once you get 50 or 60 or whatever you
mhm,
finally start going to the doctor, they're like, "Oh, high cholesterol, you're pretty healthy, just take this one pill," and that is according to the old people that I've talked to, that's like the gateway pill to, "Oh, and so cholesterol, high blood pressure, all these different things, now you're on this regimen of pills you never even took because just to be safe, on the safe side type of
mhm,
shit," and that's like, the downfall
yeah,
spiral. I'm not g I forgot to say this is not medical advice,
mm.
but obviously. Let's see if I have a banner.
This is just our opinion. Wait, what is it how does it they say? This
We
isn't
idiots.
intended to provide any medical advice. This is just our opinion.
Okay, that's not a good one. This is for something else.
All I saw was "You're
Uh,
merely gay." Like, wait a minute.
oh, yeah. It says, "Providing a forum for speculative commentary can be counterproductive and potentially dangerous. Public comments on an active investigation and with incomplete and incorrect information are merely gay." I stole that and just made it my own at the end. Um, what? I don't really have a warning for this. Oil trigger warning. I'm gonna read this really quick. I didn't highlight it, but I think I was just going through it, and I wonder if some of that shit that you were talking about at the beginning is here.
Oh,
Patrick Clancy stated that Lindsay they had an amazing marriage. They got along great. He further stated that they did tell each other that they loved each other 10 times a day. That's a weird. That's a weird thought. That's a weird sentence. At the end of the interview, Mr. Clancy consented to have his face, clothing, and hands digitally photographed. Trooper reviewed the Apple Mac to so he calculated travel time to make sure that I did read this, to make sure that his times made sense. He said he left the house at this time, that he got food, that he went to CVS, and that he came home, and when he called CVS and when he called the restaurant and when he looked at their footage, that's what this is. It all matched. That's why I didn't highlight any of this.
because he had to call his wife from the CVS because whatever she wanted, they didn't have the exact one or something like that. So he was on the phone with her potentially when she was murdering her kids.
They did say that he was utilizing his phone. Yeah. Which I thought was strange, but now they say that if they she would know what they needed, probably.
Yeah, and she had
Um,
called the CVS earlier that day to make sure that
yeah,
they had it or something like that, but then when he was there, I don't know if he was just confused because he's a dude or he wasn't sure or what. Maybe put some lip gloss on so I look beautiful. Shampoo.
hey, girl. Um, the next story is about, they
Copycat.
mhm. It says Mr. Carney, so they're gonna tell a story about, Kyle Carney, who was his friend for a while. He stated that they speak just about every day. He actually spoke with Pat earlier that morning in a group chat. Mr. Clancy stated that the group chat was with other friends and primarily discussed work. Mr. Carney informed me that Pat Clancy, oh, Patrick, that's the husband, currently works for Microsoft while he works in the financial sector. Mr. Carney informed me that on Sunday, January 22nd, 2 days before the murder, Pat Clancy, along with Lindsay and two of the older children, had visited their house for dinner. While there, Lindsay seemed fairly normal, mostly quiet while on her phone and keeping to herself. He was actually surprised she was there due to Pat's statement about her health, and he didn't know she was coming that night. He stated that overall everything seemed perfectly normal, and this was the first time they had seen Lindsay in a couple months. They asked why they had not seen Lindsay for such a long extended period of time. Mr. Clancy stated that Lindsay was having medical issues. All lines up with what seems to be going on in their real life.
Yeah.
Mr. Clancy stated that Pat mentioned Lindsay was suffering from withdrawals from her benzodiazepines approximately a month and a half ago, so that is when he began to open up to Mr. Clancy about his wife, Sarah. Pat told Carney that he was really concerned about the withdrawals and that Lindsay had the worst side effects possible. So, do you think she took and you obviously were guessing. I wonder if she took herself off of these and that's what made it worse.
Maybe, or if I wonder if so she was seeing two different psychiatrists, and I part of the story that I heard was that the right hand basically didn't know what the left hand was doing, so she was overprescribed medication. So I
Mhm.
wonder if when she was admitted, they're looking at everything and like, okay, this is too much. We're going to take you off of this, which oftentimes happens in admission situations. They
But
basically stop everything they're doing and then restart you and get you on. So I
mhm,
wonder if that's when they stopped and that's when she began to withdraw because benzodiazepine withdrawal is tough. I mean, it
mhm.
usually requires like a slow taper. You can't, it's not when you can just go cold turkey. Your body becomes physically dependent upon it.
Yeah, do you know Jordan Peterson? Do you know who that is?
Hmm.
Canadian. Okay. He had to get into a medically induced coma to fight his because his withdrawal was so bad
Yeah.
to get off benzos, and he was like one of those people who's like, "Oh, if you could quit if you wanted to, blah, blah,
Right.
blah." He didn't, understand the addictiveness of it.
Do you know what the
Okay.
only thing worse than a benzodiazepine withdrawal is?
No.
Alcohol.
Oh.
And in the hospital, so, like, if you're suffering from alcohol, it's the one where you're automatically get put into in the intensive care unit because it's the withdrawals are so hard on the body, causes seizures, causes, delirium, um, and a lot of times they will get, intravenous alcohol, like ethanol through their
Damn.
IV to bring their alcohol levels down slowly and steadily so the body doesn't just automatically withdraw.
DT's delirium tremors can be fatal.
Mhm. It's very, very dangerous. So, but benzos are right there after. I mean, opiates, for me, I would think, look, oh man, opiates can kill you right away. You take too many of them. But the withdrawal from opiates is really just like diarrhea and a
But
headache. But
she had 2 psychiatrists. One of
mhm.
them gave her Prozac, the other one gave her everything else. So the one who's giving her sleep meds here is the same
Oh,
one who gave her
okay.
all those other names. Only one lady, I
Oh,
forget her name
okay.
already, gave her the, I think it was Prozac or Zoloft. I can look, I can scroll back up
I think you
and see
said
now.
Zoloft first and the other ones.
Yeah,
Okay, so it
you're
wasn't
right.
like 2 or 3 by one and 2 or 3 by the other.
But
Okay,
maybe
well,
just that one Zoloft was enough to fuck everything
sure.
up that the other lady was doing. She
Yeah.
just didn't account for that one
Yeah.
thing or something. Because if she's getting sleep aid here, that means that the second doctor is probably the one doing most of her prescribing, because on one of those you said was a sleep aid, and she gets it after she starts detoxing herself. So her doctor must know that this is her plan.
Has to be. Sorry if my volume changes. I have to put back I
It's
had to be on.
perfect.
Okay, good.
It's good. Um, due to this, they decided that the friends were gonna start engaging with the wife more because she was depressed. On Wednesday, January 25th at approximately 0300 hours, Trooper McKelligan sought and received a search warrant for her house. The warrant was issued by Adam. An hour later, the search warrant was executed. Located on the kitchen counter, they got the stuff that they needed. Located on the nightstand directly below the window was a large blood covered kitchen knife. That must have been what she got herself with. Located in the basement was a brown notebook. Located in a kitchen cabinet was a separate multicolored notebook. In both notebooks, Miss Clancy listed medication she was taking and at times suicidal expressions and thoughts. In these notebooks, Miss Clancy also expressed that she confides in friends, one named Sue, but does not list names in the notebook. Investigators are also aware that Ms. Clancy used her cell phone and her journal to document her mental state and her feelings about her children. In addition to keeping track of her medications, and searching ways to kill. Whoa. Which means that is okay. In addition to keeping track of her medications and researching ways to kill, which means that is it is reasonable to conclude that Ms. Clancy would have used all formats and tools available to her, including a tablet. What? That's an interesting tidbit in the middle.
Yeah. But they're saying she did like it through whatever they found, she was researching it, how to kill or what to do.
Reasonable to conclude that Ms. Clancy would use all forms, but they're requesting this is how could they know this? Oh, because it was executed on the same day. They got their search warrant, and it was executed, and they saw this. That must be what's happening.
Yeah.
This is what happens to the kids. We don't need to read that. On Wednesday, trooper sought and received a search warrant for the warrant. Her charges are murder, strangulation, assault and battery, dangerous weapon. These are the injuries she had. Right wrist, multiple lacerations from a sharp object. Right hand, possible scrapes on backside of hand from knuckle around the knuckles. Left wrist, multiple lacerations from a sharp object. Left hand, possible scrapes on backside of hand around the knuckles. Left bicep, 2 bruises. The neck, multiple lacerations to the left and right side of the neck. Deep cuts on the right side of the neck. Goddamn. Left leg, possible right bruising on the thigh. Possible light bruising on her other thigh.
Wonder if she's left-handed.
Um,
Because if they say the cuts were worse on the right, like just trying to think if you're doing it to like which way you would be,
seems like you could get a better cut on your right if you're right-handed because you're.
You think so? Like if you like
Mhm.
see,
Yeah.
I would if I was gonna do it, I think I would try to go across, so my worst would be on the left.
Well, she's a nurse, right? So she knows she just needs to cut these 2 arteries.
Yeah, that's true also.
It didn't work out for her. The nurse further explained Lindsay became unresponsive and was worked on by hospital staff and was considered stable at approximately 4,300 hours. Natalie also provided a list of injuries which were documented by hospital staff, including C1 burst fracture, bilateral non-displaced C4 lamina fractures, T5 through 6, continued some kind of fractures, T4 fracture. She just broke her fucking back all the way down, it looks like. Hemorrhage tracking into upper retro peri. I don't know why I tried. For I don't know. This
Wh
is what really fucked her up. Like, all of her cutting did nothing. Jumping out the window really
Yeah.
worked. Well, not to kill her, but right rib fracture, so superficial lacerations to the anterior neck and bilateral wrists with associated thyroid edema.
It's superficial, so she didn't cut deep enough to kill herself.
Pussy.
What a bitch.
Um, there might be autopsy stuff. Not interested in hearing anything about the babies. This is them wanting a tablet with a blue case. At this point, they call it a tablet with a purple case. I thought that was interesting, but it means it's the only time they call it purple. It must be one of those colors that, or they have a colorblind person working with. I don't know that there's any much else in this. That explains her medication. That explains her state of mind. That explains, oh, wait, this. Patrick Clancy's GoFundMe has $1,075,411.
Oh
You
my
read, these are them.
Yeah, but what the fuck? What good's $1,000,000 if your 3 kids are dead?
January 28th, these are words from Mr. Clancy. Thank you all for your love and support. With the warmth I've received from the community is palpable, and your generosity gives me hope that I can focus on some sort of healing. I've seen all of your message and contributions, including some from people I haven't seen in over a decade and many I've never met. I see and appreciate every one of you. A lot of people have said they can't imagine, and they're right. A lot of people have said they can't imagine, and they're right. There's absolutely nothing that can prepare you. The shock and pain is excruciating and relentless. I'm constantly reminded of them, and with the little sleep I get, I dream about them on repeat. Any parent knows it's impossible to understand how much you will love your kids until you have them. The same goes for understanding the devastation of losing them. Cora, Dawson, and Callan were the essence of my life, and I'm completely lost without them. My family was the best thing that ever happened to me. I took so much pride in being Lindsay's husband and a dad to Cora, Dawson, and Callan. I always reminded myself that each day with them was a new gift. Callan usually woke up first and would rest his head on my shoulder for a few minutes as he adjusted to morning. Dawson typically sang or spoke his thoughts out loud for a while before we'd go get him. Cora was a big girl and would simply walk downstairs. I can still vividly picture her coming into the living room each morning with her hair in a mess, smile on her face. We always started our days together, reading books, cuddling up on the couch, and playing with magnet tiles. I loved taking them places, whether it was scooting at Chandler Elementary, vacation skiing out on the boat, or to Duxbury Beach, one of our favorite places on earth. They gave me purpose, and I never took it for granted. There is now a massive void where the purpose once was. He's going to talk about his kids. It's kind of sad.
Like, it's already sad, like, I could cry just hearing it, like, I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, I'm going to skip those parts about his kids because it's really sad. He talks about how the little one held on until, like, to give him hope because he lasted a few days. So we're going to go straight to what he says about his wife. I want to share some thoughts about Lindsay. Chat, if you want me to read that, if that's a dick move, let me know because I will read it, but it's up to you. I want to share some thoughts about Lindsay. She recently portrayed largely by people who have never met her and never knew who the real Lindsay was. Our marriage was wonderful and diametrically grew stronger as her condition rapidly worsened. Okay. I took on as much pride in being her husband as I did in being a father and felt persistently lucky to have her in my life. This is flowery as fuck.
Yeah.
I still remember the very moment I first laid eyes on her and can recall how overcome I was with the kind of love at first sight you only see in movies. It really didn't take long before I was certain I wanted to marry her. We said I love you to each other multiple times daily, as if it were a reflex. Might have been.
Yeah.
We habitually started every morning with a passionate hug, yielding a sigh of relief like we had each received the perfect medicine. If too much time passed without a hug, she'd look at me and ask, "Did you forget?" We mutually understood the reality that people can have bad days, but we stuck to the rule that when one of us got lost, the other was always there to bring them home, always. She loved being a nurse, but nothing matched her intense love for our kids and dedication to being a mother. It was all she ever wanted. Her passion taught me how to be a better father. I want to ask you all that you find it deep within yourself to forgive Lindsay, as I have. The
Yeah.
real Lindsay was generously loving and caring towards everyone, me, our kids, family, friends, and her patients. The very fibers of her soul are loving. All I wish for her now is that she can somehow find peace. I promise to put my energy into healing and rediscovering my purpose. I owe that to all of you. What? Police, fire, healthcare, faith, Microsoft, kids. I don't know how or when I'll be able to do it, but your love and generosity will help me get started. I know that love always wins. Cora, Dawson, and Callan, you gave me so much in your short time here. I don't know if the pain will ever go away, but I'll do my best to carry on your honor. Dada loves you so much and will always remember you. With love and endless gratitude. Yikes. Patrick, you more like Jesus than me. I don't do the forgiveness like this.
So that's his what is GoFundMe's at right
Today. This is
now.
current. The last donation was 30 days ago.
If only money could bring kids back.
Yeah, I wonder, what is this about? Like, what,
Like, what does
I
he need
guess, medical bills?
expenses maybe? There should be the first, like if you scroll all the way down, like when they started it, it should say like who started it and why.
Created on the 26th by family. Matthew Glasser organized it for him. There's a first post. It says, on behalf of the extended Clancy family, we invite you to offer support for Patrick as he navigates an unimaginable tragedy. We appreciate your thoughts, prayers, and outreach and support. This GoFundMe is intended to help Patrick pay for medical bills, funeral services, and legal help. Legal help. I didn't really think about that. But
Yeah.
he's going to defend her. Fuck all that. I wouldn't pay a cent to defend this bitch.
But that's what I was just about to say. I wonder if people realize, like, I wonder if he's using the money to pay for her attorneys. And if so, I bet people would not be
Till
doing
death do us part. I'd be like, there's 3 deaths. I'm going to do the parting.
it. Well, I thought I read somewhere that he had served her with divorce papers. I mean, I could be wrong.
I could look in. I don't know. Sounds like you did a little more research on some of this than I might have.
I saw a video on like a Facebook video.
PB said it would be difficult to imagine the motive to portray her as kind and loving. Probably big neon sign behind. If this woman killed her own children, it was not lovey-dovey leading up to it. If she had postpartum and other mental issues, there were signs. I agree. Plus, I mean, the love isn't we hug 10 times a day and tell each other we love us. No,
Right.
that's the lust part she's probably sad about not having anymore when she had kids and real responsibilities and shit. Love was the difficult
Yeah.
shit that she just noped out of times 3.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. Vicky, we did look at, La Rona. She is the oldest mother murderer that we could find. So old that the dictionary doesn't know about her.
But Greeks have a old wives' tale about Medea who did the same thing.
Oh, and then there's the Medea movies. Do you think that
Yeah,
that's where they got the name? Let's look up.
gotta be connected.
Medea movies.
I'm
Medea.
sure.
Those are my favorite. If
I
I watch
hate
too much
you what?
Medea, if I watch too much of these movies, I start talking like this. It's hilarious. I love these. I think this is
And I,
one of the it used to be, Bill Cosby was, like, my comedy pleasure. I just wanted to watch all of, like, anything he was on, and then, the raper shit happened, so this is my new shit.
Medea.
I
Are you
love
in
it.
Medea?
But I didn't know anything about ancient Greek mother murder. Okay. just closing some of these tabs down. So, does this lady look like a murderer to you?
No, she looks like a real estate agent.
Dude, she does.
Yeah, I'd like
What's her
to.
name? Christy Sheets. Um,
I
the
wonder what
42. Hmm.
she's definitely a real estate agent.
The 42-year-old mom told her daughters Taylor, 22, and Madison, 17, that they were having a family meeting. Then she pulled out a gun to open fire, killing Madison instantly and chasing Taylor into the street where she delivered one fatal shot. According to police, her motive was to want to make her husband suffer after he had planned for her divorce. Didn't I tell you this was super fucking common? These
Oh,
real estate agents will do this.
these are essentially adults. That
Oh, you're talking about the kids. Yes, I'm like, these are all adults. Yeah, yeah. One lives at home and one probably, or maybe they both do. Maybe they're in college.
you see your sister get murdered, so you run away. You think, okay, I made it to the street. I'm probably okay. And then bam, shot in the back. What the fuck?
And she doesn't kill the husband. She wants him to live with it. She doesn't even fire at him.
Did she kill herself or attempt to kill herself?
No, she's a coward.
Yeah.
We do have medical advice. I learned it on Friday from Rev. If your plan is to kill other people, start with yourself. That is absolutely medical advice. It's any type of advice. It's all the advice. But this, I mean, I'm not great at the crazy eye thing, but I don't do, is it here?
I don't know. I can't.
I believe oh, I gotta look up this. AOFIE. Is it Irish? Feminine name, given name. The name is probably derived from Gaelic, which means beauty and radiance. Sorry, I'm just reading to myself.
Okay, we'll just sit here having quiet time.
Does it feel good?
I
Mm.
don't know what you're reading because I'm still looking at her picture. I thought maybe I could like, there we go. I zoom in and look real close because I gotta get close to her. No, I can't even see that still, but
Later. Okay. We can come back to this. Back to the murdering moms.
what is it? What are you looking at?
In chat, PB said, I believe Aphie was the oldest. So I looked it up. That
Good.
was this. That's this. Irish mythology. Did they tell me how to say this word? I don't see. Woman transformed into a crane whose skin after death became crane bag. Disgusting. Is this how babies get here? I don't like any of this. Okay. Back to the killer moms. There are only 11 on this page, but there's so many more. What about this lady? Does she look like a spoiler alert? They're all gonna be murderers, but I just I'm just curious if they look like it to you.
There's nothing on the screen. No. You
No?
look, oh, I don't think she looks like a murderer. She looks like she lives in a beach town, spends too much time in the sun, and lives in a trailer park.
I feel like that's so fucking accurate. Julie. This is Judy Schenecker. She made headlines when she gunned down her two teenage kids for being mouthy in court. No, for being mouthy. In court, she admitted to shooting her 13-year-old son in the car while driving him home from a soccer practice. She later went home and shot her 16-year-old daughter. Although most of her trial she was spent deliberating over whether she was sane or not. Time of the crime, when uncovered journals revealed her premeditated plans to massacre her kids. The jury found her guilty and sentenced her to 2 life terms. In a 2015 interview, she admitted she had no regrets to killing her children, saying that she saved them from abuse. I was raped as a virgin. My whole life has been a mess, she said. I came from a great family. They protected me, and this still happened. I couldn't let it happen to my daughter. Protection.
I mean, that's one way to do it, but there's, condoms. I don't know, dude. That's fucked up.
Yikes.
Yeah.
She shot her kid. I just can't even believe it. And this is why they looked at her journals to find out if she was crazy beforehand.
She is.
Do you remember can you see this? You remember this lady?
No. What's her
Andrea Yates.
that name sounds familiar.
2021, she became one of the biggest crime stories of the year after she admitted to drowning her children one by one in a bathtub because she heard voices. Andrea suffered from severe postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis that led her to diminished mental state, and she was later found not guilty by reason of insanity. Today, she's 53 and is in a low security state mental health hospital.
So if you're found not guilty by reason of insanity, do you get to walk free or you spend the rest of your life in a mental hospital because you're insane?
Well, so I don't know exactly how it works everywhere, but in the Shabusiness case, there was 2 aspects to it. The sanity or insanity, and
Mhm.
then the the sanity or insanity, and then the sentencing, like, I don't chat, help me with this. But I'm pretty sure that you go to a mental hospital instead of jail if you do this the thing,
That's
but you
what
get
I'm saying.
a consequence. It's just not prison.
Yeah. So it's not like you get to plead guilty by reason of insanity and just get to go back to your life.
Sip said skinny Caitlyn Jenner, so yes, she looks like a murderer. Caitlyn Jenner is a murderer. Did you know that? No, I'm a liar. I'm such a liar. Bruce Jenner's a damn murderer. Caitlyn didn't kill nobody.
Who did Bruce
Bruce killed somebody with his car,
kill?
but then he sawed his dick off or pushed it in or whatever happened to him. And now things is different because he has woman privilege. And we don't get in trouble for murder. What some of these bitches do.
Jesus.
Okay, let me Google it. I don't know. Let me look. Bruce Jenner kills
Was it
with
the
car. Feels like I'll figure it out here.
right? Because then he would be in jail
N- well, really? He's first of all rich and second of all a fucking trans and now whoa.
at the time. Or was he transitioning at
Can
the
you
time?
see this? This is the wreck. I never saw pictures of it.
That's awful.
What year is this? 2015? Do you remember? Well, I think he's been transitioning his whole life.
Or was he officially turned? I don't think so.
Former Olympic decathlon champion and reality TV star Bruce Jenner was involved in fatal four-car accident on Saturday, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department said in a statement. Damn.
He was involved or he caused it?
I uh do I just unrelated question. What are the odds that Ms. Jenner is going to watch this show? Probably zero. I'm going to say caused it. Bruce Jenner said he's cooperating with police as they investigate a fatal car crash. Wait a minute. Didn't that one girl that turned into a boy, the little actor guy, Elliot Page, didn't they go through and, like, rechange his name however you do it, their name and shit? If I were Bruce, I'd be like, don't call me he." Jenner, who publicly spoke to ABC's Diane Sawyer on the 24th for the first time about transgendering there you go. He immediately needed to be like, "It's because you hate transes." Said at the time of the accident that he was cooperating with police as they investigated the fatal crash. It occurred on a tricky stretch of the highway where the road is narrow and twisting. Kimberly Howe was driving her Lexus on PCH in Malibu when Jenner struck the rear of her car, propelling her vehicle into the opposite lanes of traffic. According to the lawsuit filed by her stepchildren, Dana and William, Ms. Howe's vehicle was then struck head on by another vehicle, killing her. Well, there you go.
So
He
he,
rear-ended her into oncoming traffic where she got murked.
so,
Allegedly. Do you
oh,
think they won the suit?
I don't know. That's what I was gonna say. Did civilly? I mean, obviously he wasn't held criminally liable, but I wonder if he was civilly. I bet he settled to keep it out of the news.
Or just to get it over with? Hmm, the more you know. Caitlyn Jenner actually killed Bruce Jenner. You can't change my mind. It's
Yeah.
actually true. It's not very controversial either.
Bruce Jenner killed OJ,
Bruce Jenner killed OJ?
his wife.
Nicole?
Yeah.
Plot twist. Uh, allegedly, also, that's a lie. Okay, that's Andrea Yates. Everyone knows her. What about this woman? Michelle. Cheers. Dorothy just made it.
Hey, Dory.
I think. PB said, I think Jennifer Aniston took out Matthew Perry. Could I have more information on this? I'm not against you, but I want to see if I could get with you on this. Jen saw Doll rose up in the jacuzzi and asked, "Wow, would you like to play a game?"
What happened to Matthew Perry?
He died. He drowned in his own hot tub.
What the fuck? What was that?
Listen, he had trouble sleeping and he was vaxxed, and these things might not be related to the other thing, but it was just like 2 days or 3 days ago.
Oh shit, I didn't know.
He actually couldn't get any more vaxxed, so.
So did he
A side effect of the vaccination we're learning is you forget how to swim
Yeah, that'll happen.
and breathe and play just everything. This lady, she doesn't look familiar to me at all, but. Oh, dubbed Freezer Mom. She was arrested in 2015 when the dead bodies of 2 of her children. I'm not showing you this.
I've heard that story.
Yeah, she admitted to killing her 13-year-old daughter, Stoney, because she believed the teen was sexually abusing a Nebula. Oh, that's right. This one was really fucking sad.
Have you ever watched her interrogation?
No. Should I look into it?
Oh,
I want to see it.
sir. She talks.
You're kind of cutting out.
Sorry, I tried to mute myself because there was a trash truck driving by. In her interrogations, she's vile.
Yes,
Sorry, go ahead.
She's vile, and she talks about how she's not sorry that they were abusing her one child. So,
Yeah.
I mean, just the way she talked about it, like zero remorse. It was awful. And
this is an interesting one. I'm glad we're talking about this actually, because her one children were physically harming, like bad, her little child. Allegedly?
Yeah, the other kids say that it never happened. That she got this in her head because they were like picking on him, and then she was like, did they touch you? Are they touching you? And that only after she like basically was like screaming at him, like, tell me if they touched you. And so he said yes, and that's when she like went off the rails. But she killed one of them, and then like they weren't killed at the same time. They were done at separate times.
Damn. Okay, so originally I thought her 2 children were like really severely abusing the little one. And she was like, it doesn't matter that they're my kids, they're evil, and they did this, and I want to protect my other child, which I thought is an interesting
Would
thought,
Right. I watched a couple podcasts on this case, and I watched her interview, and she's vile.
Yuck. Okay, we're not going to watch them. This is an hour and 42 minutes. It looks like all of it is interrogation. So
yeah,
if I had done this before, maybe I could find a piece that was good. Oh, wait, that's only 4 minutes. What'd that say? Freezer Mom gives prison interview. Freezer Mom.
Can you talk me through the type of...
I'm sorry, but her kid was 13. She put a 13-year-old in the freezer? Holy fuck. Morning, Pupper. Yeah, this one's really sad. IMDb has a list of 33 actors who have died that appeared on Friends. Oh, hell yeah. That's my new favorite conspiracy theory. Jennifer Aniston done murdered them all. Okay. Can you see this? I'm going to turn it up. It's up. Let's hear a mother murderer.
Abuse that you had to suffer as a kid?
You mean sexual abuse?
If that's what happened?
That definitely did happen to me. That's why I know exactly how would have grew up. I told my mother what happened to me. And the only thing she said was, it's over with. So what the you want me to do about it? What do you mean what I want you to do? You get what I'm saying? So all I could do is go back and sit in my room and just sit there and look stupid. I'm a kid. And I'm just telling you what happened to me. You didn't do about it. And plus, I still had to see the person coming in and out my house. You still friends with that person.
Mm.
So do you believe that the violent person you went on to become you were a product of your own childhood?
I mean, everybody have choices, so I can't just blame all that on my mom because I was still an adult. Maybe I should have tried hard to get over that. But anybody who knows me, that touching the kids, the molesting, that no.
Oh,
No.
so
If that's one thing.
when did she do this interview? 2018. So she's sticking with her story then.
And who knows what the real story is. I mean, it is possible that the two siblings were sexually assaulting the other one, but it doesn't seem like when you watch the whole thing, maybe we'll have to do a whole show on her because we could do a whole 2 on this for her.
Yeah, that's why Puffer said, I would have gone to the police first, but I understand the rage. Yeah. I'm going to go with Lisa Kudrow being the silent assassin. No, she seems innocent. She looks innocent. And murderers could never pin Smelly Cat. That's just not real.
The kids, the day she found out, she tortured them and beat them and starved them. Like, it wasn't, oh, I found this out and killed them the same day.
Yeah. She did to them what she thought they were doing to him.
Right. And so it's like, I don't know. I think some of it was she just a crazy person.
It says she killed her 13-year-old because she believed the teen was sexually abusing another sibling. In a rage, she smothered the girl with a plastic bag. A year later, she killed her 9-year-old son, Stephen, the same way, telling police that one of her younger sons had accused Stephen of molestation. But probably the darkest thing about the whole story was that Michelle would force her oldest 17-year-old daughter to help stuff the bodies in the freezer. However, prosecutors didn't fully believe her molestation claims. In fact, according to her oldest daughter, Michelle had tortured her stepson, Stephen, for weeks prior to killing him. She also, according to the teen, killed her daughter, Stoney, simply because the girl said that she didn't like her surviving siblings. Unsurprisingly, but Michelle was found guilty in 2015 and was sentenced to life. To this day, she is still remorseful for her crimes. Unremorseful.
Yeah.
Another kid was there? What the fuck? That kid should be in jail, yeah?
I don't know, dude. You just watched your mom kill one of your other siblings. What do you do?
She knew both of them, right? 13, and then the next year, the 9-year-old.
But are you just so terrified that you could be next that you're like, I'm just going to do whatever you want to not be the next one murdered?
Yeah, probably. This lady looks innocent.
She looks like a bus driver.
Yeah. Never mind. Now she's a killer again. This is Isabel Martinez. In 2017, she was charged with stabbing and killing 4 of her children and her husband as they slept. Her 9-year-old daughter was the lone survivor of the massacre and later told authorities that her mother told her she was going to see Jesus prior to the stabbing. However, probably the most chilling thing about the story was that when Isabel arrived at court, she smiled and gave an enthusiastic thumbs up to the cameras. She's still currently awaiting trial, and police are still unsure of her motives. Bro. Stabbing them. Stabbing's wild, dude. I don't think I could stab anything.
It's awfully personal.
Mm-hmm. And
4
kids. This she should be number 1 on the list. Holy crap. She killed 5 people.
Does it say why?
They're just gonna go see Jesus.
Oh, okay.
It says they are unsure of her motives. I wonder if this is old, so we could look it up. Hold on, let's see. Copy.
Isabel Cartuno Martinez.
Watch.
The mother accused of murdering nearly her entire family appears in court, smiling, kneeling down for cameras, and even giving them a thumbs up.
Ma'am, I'm going to caution you to cut out the display for the cameras. It's really not a good idea, probably not to your benefit.
The judge appalled.
Okay, yeah, she's just crazy. Who cares what happened to her? Isabel. Sentence. That's what I need to write. Oh,
Damn. Oh, she was in Georgia?
she's one of y'all. At least she pled guilty.
Yeah. I wonder what part of Georgia she was in.
Huh?
I said, I wonder what part of Georgia she was in.
Gwinnett County.
Oh, it's Atlanta.
Love to say I'm surprised, but I've been to Atlanta and it's a very scary place.
You ain't been to Atlanta.
I've been to Atlanta.
Been to Atlanta Airport.
I'm sorry, what city is it in? Just say it clearly for the judge. Yeah, and it's in Atlanta. I've been there.
It's not in Atlanta.
Is it?
No.
It's not in Atlanta?
No, Google it. What city is the airport in?
I'm gonna punch you in the face. What? I'm gonna fire you if it's in Atlanta. You asshole. You don't even know what airport is, you idiot.
Where?
It's in damn Georgia.
Where city is it in?
I mean, Atlanta, Georgia.
No, it's not.
It is. It says right there their address is 6000 North Terminal Parkway, Suite 4000 in Atlanta, Georgia. I could send them a letter.
Oh, I thought it was a different city. My bad.
You made that up right now. They named it after the city.
No, but I thought it was like kind of like. I can't give that example. I don't want to dox you again.
Appreciate it. Okay, let's just go back to the mothers because I want to know if this lady looks like a murderer to you. She looks
No.
like one to me. No. What? Where'd she go? How the hell? What's going on?
Okay, wait. Let me look at her for a minute before I just.
I gotta pee. I had so much coffee.
No, she doesn't look like a murderer to me.
A year later, yeah, I don't know how that happened. She probably just tired of having her kid, and she's like, "Well, it's easy to kill the first one. I'm just gonna try again."
She looks like a bartender.
Damn, you're so good at this. I feel like that's spot on. I mean, she probably wasn't, but she could play one on TV, and I believe it. Bartender, really good. This is actually Jessica Edens. In 2017, the 36-year-old mom shot and killed Meredith Rami, a woman she believed her husband was having an affair with, before turning the gun on her 2 children and then herself. An uncovered suicide note Oh, we get to see this? I hate you. I hope you rot. Jilted wife wrote sadistic suicide note for her estranged husband before she shot dead their 2 kids and his girlfriend and turned the gun on herself. Please show us. Oh, I hate to see the kids. That stuff sucks.
Yeah.
South Carolina, in case you were curious.
What part of South Carolina?
Lower. I'm just kidding. Murder-suicide was a plot to get back at Ben, who she said in the note she hated.
Oh my gosh.
Another note to her first husband, the father of her 9-year-old son, contained an apology. She killed someone else's kid? What the fuck? Well, her kid, but like with another guy? Wow. Oh, that sucks.
I'm sorry.
Damn.
I'm real mad at Ben.
Well, Ben didn't do it. Which was an uncovered suicide note explained her motive, which was to create everlasting consequences and pain for her husband, Ben Edens. To Ben, you have caused me more pain than I've ever been in my life, she wrote. You have caused my children pain. I hate you. I hope you rot one day for what you have done to me and my kid. You can no longer hurt us. We are at peace. Imagine you're like, I'm going to kill them, but what you did, worse.
He just got his dick wet. He killed 3 people. Get out of here.
Yeah, that part. You should have stayed a bartender, woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Now this lady. Oh, you can't see this lady. This lady,
Mm-hmm. Yoga.
murder. Bitch got the crazy eyes like Hillary Clinton. 100% murder.
She's a vegan yoga instructor.
Her face, her skin would be way clearer than this,
If she's a vegan.
I think.
Yeah,
Her,
or meth addict turned vegan yoga instructor.
I'm not, this one's a miss. This lady is, murderer. That's all I got. Gigi Jordan. In 2010, the multimillionaire socialite gave her 8-year-old autistic son a lethal cocktail of drugs to kill him. She called it a mercy killing and said she was saving her son from being sexually abused by his father. I didn't see any way out of the situation, she testified in court. I made a decision that I was going to end my life and Jude's life. However, throughout the trial, prosecutors questioned her allegations of abuse, especially considering she was wealthy. All of her money, all of her resources, she decided to kill him. Court Justice Charles Solomon said, "There's so many different things she could have done." She was found guilty and sentenced to only 18 years. Not even as long as the kid. Like, I hate that. 18 years? That's it. She doesn't look rich, I'll tell you that. She probably did do yoga and she probably was a vegan. You might have known that. This lady.
Oh, stay-at-home mom PTA president.
You're so good at this. Even if she's not, she is. Where her lips is, though. Girl, where your lips is.
Definitely the first Karen to exist.
I gotta hope her name is Karen. She looks like she's about to complain about something.
She looks like she's mad
This is Leanne Smith. In 2010, the British mom.
Oh, that's why she looks angry.
The British mom killed both her children. One was 11 months old and the other was 5 by smothering them in their sleep. She explained to police that she murdered her kids because she was afraid they'd be taken away by social services after her partner, Martin Smith, was arrested on child sex charges. She took her kids to an exotic Spanish resort for 2 days before carrying out the killings. "I have ended the lives of my 2 children," she told police. "I gave the children a 3-day holiday, a perfect holiday. I knew they were going to take my children to England." She was sentenced to 30 years in prison.
Jesus.
Wait, in 2012? Wow. Are you surprised that so many of these are like, I did it for their sake? 'Cause
Yeah.
I hate my guy. What about this?
Definitely.
She seems innocent. I mean, if God gave you a permanent frown, he's trying to warn the rest of us. Deanne Laney, in 2003, the mom of 2 woke up in the middle of the night, took her 8-year-old son in the backyard, and stoned him to death. She later did the same thing to her 6-year-old son. During the investigation, she told police that God ordered her to kill them. Quote, "I believe with all my heart it was the Lord telling me that, but I couldn't figure out why," she told the court. "I don't understand. Why? What purpose?" She was later found not guilty by reason of insanity. However, in 2012, she was released. And although she's subject to a long list of conditions, she's a free woman.
So 11 tonight. So 8 years?
Bashing them in with a fucking rock.
That's
And
wild.
not even at the same time. A 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. Wow.
That's crazy.
This is unreal. Oh my God. I told Sib that we would figure out if these bitches were married. I can't tell.
Definitely not her. Scary.
Well, I would love for you to tell me what this person's profession is.
And wrestler?
Who?
Like a boxer.
Oh, because of the wound?
Yeah. But hang on, let me look beyond that. Let me see what I see. They're not a boxer.
It's hard. It's a jail picture, and it looks like a guy.
Janitor, for sure. or like gas station attendant. Like you work.
PB said you have to respect the commitment. The rock bashing. I mean, if she's gonna say Jesus told her to do it, she better stone him. I'm not an advocate of that, but I'm just saying it seems more believable. He did it biblically.
Owned.
Okay, let's see what this person did. This is Michelle Martins. Although she didn't physically kill her 10-year-old daughter Victoria, whose body was found dismembered and partially burned in a bathtub of a local hotel last year, she admitted to allowing her boyfriend and his cousin rape. That's probably not his name. I think they're supposed to be to rape, torture, and stab her daughter to death because she allegedly liked to watch.
Oh my God.
10 years old. Holy shit. And she didn't die? Oh, stabbed to death. Okay, she did die, just not at her hands.
Jesus.
What happened to this little girl's horrific. It's one of the worst things I've read in my entire life. Yeah. Holy fuck.
You like to watch your daughter get raped by two adults? And tortured?
Rape, torture, and stabbed. She allegedly liked to watch. Whoa. You gotta watch out for people named Michelle. That's a warning. There's been a couple on this list.
With people.
Those bitches are crazy.
Clearly.
Ugh.
Oh, hang on a second.
This is the last one. There's no picture. Oh, might be the picture. In 2014, a Chinese mother was accused of throwing her 14-month-old infant daughter into traffic during an argument with her husband. The girl was killed instantly by a truck driver who couldn't stop in time. Crazy enough, she then repeated her action, reaching for her 6-year-old son and throwing him into traffic as well. And fortunately, the boy survived, who was arrested and charged with murder, but the conclusion of the case is unknown.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, she threw her kids off a bridge.
Jesus.
Or into traffic. I guess I might have made that bridge part up. Oh my God, that's just fucking terrible. Shoot yourself instead. Jump it. Because now the guy who kills the baby has to think about it every day.
Oh my God.
Very sad. These people are not sick. They are evil.
Disgusting.
Okay. Tell me what you think about this lady. Does she look like a murderer?
No.
She shot her 2 kids.
Oh. She looks like a 3rd grade teacher that was a gymnast in high school.
Yeah. This lady, does she look like a murderer?
It's the haircut, I think.
Oh, she's the one that said that she was carjacked and that they did this. And then they found out that it's just her. She just made all that shit up.
The one that like drove it into the lake or whatever.
Let me go. Elizabeth Diane Downs, an American woman who murdered her daughter and attempted to murder her other 2 children in Oregon, Springfield, if you're curious. In 1983, following the crime, she made claims to police that a man had attempted to carjack her and had shot the children. She was convicted in 1984 and sentenced to life plus 50. She briefly escaped in 1987, but was quickly recaptured. She was reportedly denied parole, and psychiatrists have diagnosed her with narcissistic, histrionic, and antisocial personality disorder. Shootings and prosecution. She shot 3 of her children and drove them in a blood-spattered car to the hospital. Upon arriving, Danny, age 3, was paralyzed from the waist down. Christy, 8, had suffered a disabling stroke, and Cheryl, 7, was dead. Downs herself had been shot in the left forearm. She claimed that she was carjacked on a rural road.
Ugh, liar, liar, vampire.
Investigators became suspicious because they decided that Downs' manner was too calm for a person that had just experienced such a traumatic event.
Yeah, you think?
Yikes. Diane. You look so innocent, Diane Downs.
Oh, you're
I
guilty.
never try. I guess, does she look innocent?
She looks like a lesbian.
Yeah. Lesbians is innocent, maybe. This witch looks. Tell me what you think about her.
Oh gosh. What you scared?
I gotta pee so bad. I'm gonna have to go. But I'm gonna talk to you about Megan Huntsman real quick. That's Megan Huntsman.
I don't know about her.
This is crazy. From 1996 to 2006, Megan murdered 6 of her newborn children shortly after giving birth in Utah.
And her husband found them in the garage, right?
Yes, the garage.
Gosh, I've heard bits and pieces of this, which is crazy.
You're looking for a 10 millimeter, you find 10-year babies. This is different. Look at this bitch.
And more than what they found in there.
I mean, okay. After your first baby just is gone, after 6, he's like, I'm gonna look for my kids.
Well, I think she's saying that they were stillborn and she told him that she miscarried, but she was keeping them.
Okay, let's see. The serial infanticide was discovered in April 2014 when Huntsman's ex-husband Darren West began cleaning out the garage of the Pleasant Grove house he once shared with her. While moving several boxes, West discovered a small white box wrapped in plastic containing the small, decomposing body of a baby. Appalled by his discovery, he continued to remove the mess at the scene and found 6 other bodies, one of which was later determined in an autopsy to not have been murdered, but was stillborn. One was stillborn. West then reported to the police, and after an investigation, it was determined that the babies were his children, but that Megan, unbeknownst to him, had murdered them minutes after they were delivered. How do you not know, dude?
How do you not know? How do you get through a whole pregnancy?
That's what I'm saying.
It would be interesting to hear his side of the story.
You find one fucking dead baby, you're like, let me see if there's any more. Oh, that's when you call 911. That's the time.
Yeah.
Find another one, you're like, I'm gonna keep looking.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, this guy needs to be in jail too. I really do gotta go to the bathroom, but I was planning on like pulling one of these stories and just letting you have fun with it. If I went to the restroom, do you want me to find a song to play?
Yeah, play a song. I'll go too.
Oh, God damn, I thought you were gonna say no. Let's see, youtube.com. What songs do I like in? You guys probably don't want to hear Britney. Oh, I haven't heard this. What type of music are y'all into?
Okay.
I was hoping something would just be live. I don't see anything good.
That's just waiting, huh? What about
Let's see. Okay. Thanks for letting me do that. Sorry if I left you with the trash song. Back to murdering ladies. Here's another lady that froze her kid. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Does she look innocent or guilty? She looks innocent and she looks like somebody I know. I'll knock my dog out for a second. Come here, tiny Gretel. Okay, hold on. Come here, small dog. Into the party. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Her face is, yeah, I can do it. She looks like a soccer player, maybe a softball player. What's her name? Sarah Lynn. Oh, you want to know her name? Guess her name. It's a scary name. Her last name. Her first name is Sarah Lynn. Okay, so now is when appropriately goes missing for an hour. Maybe. Catcher. Close. Sarah Lynn. Her last name. Do they not say it here?
Looks like a swim coach.
You're back. Guess what her last name is? She does look
What?
like a swim coach. Holy shit, you're good at this. I can't say that enough. This lady's last name is Dahmer, no, Smith, McStabby face, Kruger. Her last name is Kruger.
Yeah, I'm like Freddy Krueger. I knew it.
California mom and boyfriend tortured and killed her 3-year-old daughter before stuffing the body in a freezer.
Oh.
May 2017. Mother and boyfriend convicted Tuesday of killing 3-year-old daughter is found partially frozen in the couple's apartment after her body was put into the freezer.
Why though? Does it say why?
Oh my God. I wasn't going to tell you about this story. This is the one.
Now you got to tell me.
She died of multiple blunt force injuries. A fatal injury caused a rupture to her small intestine.
Jesus.
Yikes. 27 and 29 years old.
Why?
Krugers.
Why did they do that?
Wait a minute. The investigation began in 2024 when Napa police received a 911 call from the couple's friend on February 1 to check on Kaylee's welfare. The friend later told police that he went over to the couple's apartment the night before and discovered Kaylee was dead. He didn't want any part of it, so he told them to call the police. They did not call the police, and so he took it upon himself to call.
What the fuck?
What the fuck is right? Like, what the fuck?
You see a dead 3-year-old and you're like, I'm out.
Oh, how about your friends over and you're like, look what we did? What's going on?
Yeah. What the hell is wrong with people?
Once inside the apartment, the police found her body in bed. She was once they told the friend about it, maybe they're like, oh, we're in trouble. We better pull her out and put her in the freezer. And she hadn't all the way unfrozen before. Pretty sure they called the cops and they're like, oh, we woke up. She was in the freezer at least a number of hours. Her body was still extremely cold to the touch when the officers found her. We don't know for sure how long she was in the freezer. The little freezer that sits on top of your refrigerator, according to Kruger and Warren. According to Lind, Kruger and Warren had fled earlier that morning before police arrived, but the pair was arrested the following day shortly after a woman spotted them in IHOP. Imagine having an appetite.
You're just going to have breakfast? What the hell?
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's this lady.
What's up, son?
Kruger. Can you
I said, what's the
guess? Huh? Can you guess what this lady did?
No. Let's see. Hang on. I don't know, but she's definitely the only cashier at Walmart after midnight.
I hate to say this again, but you're so fucking good at this.
We could do a whole show. You just show me pictures and I tell you what they do for a living.
It's way better than what they actually did. This lady fucking smothered her 4-year-old.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, look at this lady. It's an old school killer. Let me find out what she did.
Yeah. I don't know what grandma did.
There's a couple, Mary Beth Tinning. Mary Beth Rowe Tinning is an American murderer and suspected serial killer who was convicted of murdering. Oh fuck. Oh wait, hold on. Let me get into this. Suspected of murdering her 9th child, 4-month-old daughter, Tammy Lynn, in 1985. She's suspected to be similarly involved in the previous deaths of her 8 children, all of which took place over the span of 14 years. She killed 9 of her kids. This lady.
That's wild. Hang on one second. I gotta talk to my kid for 1 second.
Yeah, tell him about all this stuff and tell him how lucky he is to made it. He didn't even need a reason. Most of these bitches didn't even have a good reason. At IHOP, trash killed her special ed teacher. Oh my God, women are dangerous as fuck. I know I get dark and twisty, but fuck, man, never, ever act. Freezers are as bad as shallow graves. Always bury them deep. Yeah. These are not smart murderers. The cause of death of Tinning's first 8 children was initially thought to be genetic. Even when her 6th child, Michael, who was adopted and not of blood relation, died in 1981, authorities failed to open an investigation. Eventually, the county prosecutors had enough evidence. A lab test indicated death from asphyxia by suffocation to charge Tinning in Tammy Lynn's death. In July 87, she was convicted of second-degree murder, sentenced to 20 years to life. An appeal in the New York Supreme Court arguing that her confession was coerced and that there was insufficient evidence to convict her was denied. Wow. Is she still alive? Yeah. She's 81 right now. Did anyone have an urge to interview any of these people? You'd think she would start talking by now. Barbara, Joseph, Jennifer, Timothy, Nathan, Michael, Angelo, Mary, Jonathan, and Tammy. Anybody want to guess which one was adopted? I forgot you were here for a second. I didn't hear an audible laugh at that. She's only charged for 3 of their deaths, it says, because the rest of them, maybe it was too hard to prove or something. I think you might recognize this lady. Tell me about this lady. You know her name? Are you still here? Okay, maybe not. This is Susan Smith. Susan Lee Smith. She's 52 now. She's an American
banker. Like, she's the teller at the bank.
Or you're a psychiatrist or something. She looks very innocent. You know who she looks like? Oh my gosh, chat. She looks like poor Angelo. Oh, they answering my question. Yeah, she looks like an accountant for sure. She looks like damn White Rabbit. Say it ain't so. What does the title say? Moms that murder with divinity. Oh, they murdered with me. That's funny. Nah. It'll only matter if I do some murdering. I'll try not to do any murdering, so this won't matter.
Don't do any murdering.
Do you know what Susan Smith did?
No. She murdered a kid.
You're really good at this. Yeah, she drove them into a lake.
And then she just got out. She's like, all right, you guys stay there. I'll be right back for you.
On October 25, 1994, Smith reported to police that her vehicle had been carjacked by a black man who drove away with her son still inside. For 9 days, she made dramatic pleas on national television for their safe return. However, following an intensive investigation and a nationwide search for them, she confessed on November 3rd, 1994, to letting her car roll into nearby John D. Long Lake, drowning them inside. Her motivation was reportedly to facilitate a relationship with a local wealthy man named Tom. Prior to the murders, he sent Smith a letter ending their relationship and expressing that he did not want children. She said that there was no motive, nor did she plan the murder, stating that she was not in the right state of mind. Holy fuck.
I remember this case because when they interviewed him, he was like, that's not what I meant.
It's not funny, but it's funny how he said it. It's off.
Can you imagine? You're like, oh, I don't have kids anymore now. Can we date? I'm like, wait a minute. What the fuck happened to your
Where did
kid?
it go again?
Oh.
You guys might. Oh, wait, I already showed you this lady. Let me show you her again. Because she looked innocent to me. Andrea Yates. Even in prison orange, she looks innocent.
Mm,
We went
but
to school with somebody called Marla, and she reminds me of her. Do you remember her? Very tall woman.
yeah.
She reminds me of this. Okay, let's just look through a couple more things, and then we can be done with our Murdering Moms Monday.
Dun, dun, dun.
Sorry, I'm just looking up, closing down tabs that we've already looked at. There's another mother. I'm going to show it to you in just a second. That's not it. Maybe it's this. Oh, damn, I didn't bring up any of these. Brandy Hutchins murdered her 10-year-old son and her 19-year-old daughter. Now, I can go into these if you want, or we can just, like, if you feel like seeing her face.
No, I don't care to see their faces.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stabbed. What do you think the worst ones of these are?
I think the worst ones are the up close and personal, the stabbings, the strangulations, because you're looking at your child in the face and they're looking at you.
Mm-hmm. This lady strangled her 9-year-old in a motel room. Stabbed her 4, 8, and 9-year-old to death, Dora.
I mean, come on, Dora. You're not even an explorer.
Oh, Susan Eubanks. Did we look at her?
Uh-uh. 4. She shot 4 of her sons.
Mm-hmm.
14, 7, 6, and 4.
Susan Eubanks.
Oof.
Women on death row. Ugh. Damn.
Oh, dang.
Another woman on California death row that murdered her children.
Have you seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? He's
Mhm.
grown up. She got the purple hue to her hands and everything.
Wow, what the hell? That's funny.
Violet.
Dang, this is old school.
Mm-hmm.
Can't find any O's. Does anyone have any zeros? Another woman. In this case, there were 4 murdered her children. 4 aged between 4 and 14. She would shoot each child in the head before shooting herself in the stomach. According to court docs, Susan Eubanks was in an argument with her boyfriend while she was drinking and taking Valium. And when she arrived at her home, she would grab a gun and fatally shoot the 4 children.
Jesus. What's that benzo? She was on a benzo. She's a downer, and then she was drinking alcohol, which is a downer. So she's taking 2 dangerous drugs and then mix them together, and then you add anger, and there you go.
So it was his fault? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm trying to say we should stop prescribing benzos.
Oh.
They're meant to stop seizures, and we're giving them to people to help them relax and calm down from panic attacks. Like, there's got to be something better.
After warning
weed.
Exactly. After warning one of the boys' fathers as to her diminished mental state, the boyfriend told the father that she, quote, talked about killing herself and the boys. The father then called the police department. He asked the sheriff to check on the children. When the deputies arrived at the home, they heard sobbing and inside found the 3 older boys dead from gunshot wounds to the head. The youngest was not yet dead, so an ambulance was called to the scene. The 4-year-old boy was rushed by ambulance to the hospital where he would later die. Wow. They then found the 5th child, her nephew, unharmed. Thank God. How do you feel? Do you have that survivor's guilt?
Probably, but like, these are all awful, but think about all of the first responders that are involved in these, that you have to see these kids. Like, you're doing your best to save this one child, but you just had to pronounce 3 other kids dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, ugh.
They said that she blacked out drinking, and that's why the crimes happened.
Okay, have you ever been blackout drunk? Have you ever, like, not remembered the next day?
Once.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've only been blackout drunk one time, and I hated it because I don't like feeling out of control, but
I didn't feel any out of control. I don't remember none of it. I had to be told. I woke up in the morning and I went to the bathroom and I was like going to the bathroom. I was sitting there and I was like smelling my hair. I get up and I look in the mirror and I'm like, I got to the bedroom. I'm like, who threw up on me last night? They were like, bitch, you threw up on you, on your keyboard. We're playing Warcraft. And it was all bad. But yeah, the stories that they told me later, I was like, I did that. I couldn't stay in my chair. Like, what? Thank God it was with people who I trust and love, but it was scary.
Yeah.
But it was only scary after the fact to think of the shit that I would have allowed to happen.
Yeah. Well, and you say you went into the bathroom. Anytime that I've been drunk, I've elected to sleep in the bathtub. It's just something real comfortable about it, I guess. But the first time, the only time I've ever like blacked out, I don't remember how I got home at all. I woke up in the bathtub. I had just divorced my first husband, so I didn't have kids yet. And I woke up in the bathtub, looked outside, my car was there, and I was like, how the fuck did I get home?
So maybe I did blackout drunk twice. Because I did have one time where I drove us all home. And I was like, how the hell did I get here? And they were like, you gave us directions. I wonder if I did drive. Maybe someone else drove. Maybe I gave them directions and they drove my car home.
That was
That was a
scary
mess.
enough for me to never want to get that drunk again. Like, not only do
Mhm.
I have no recollection. I remember getting to the bar early, and the bartender said free shots for the rest of the night to the first the first girl that like shows me she has a condom in her purse. And I was like, I win. And so I got free shots. That's the last thing I remember.
Oh my God.
Yep. And mind you, when I woke up, and like realized that I was at home and was in the bathtub, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. So we were drunk early.
Yeah. My blackout drunk one, the one that I remember, the one that I still remember is we started drinking so early in the day.
I
Okay.
don't like that feeling. It's like, what?
Mhm.
Man. And then later to not remember and to try to have to piece it together and to like just know you did embarrassing shit or very dangerous shit, or you could have killed yourself or someone else. Like, it's not worth it. It's not that fun to be drunk. Why do people do this to themselves?
It's not fun at all to be drunk if you don't remember it.
Yeah.
Like, that's silly. This lady's called Shaquan Dooley. Characteristics: parasite. She killed them because she was depressed over failing online classes and not having a job. Wait, parasite? Is that when parents kill somebody? The
I
fuck?
don't know.
Parasite. The killing of a parent or other relative.
It's called parasite.
Parricide. Parasite. But she killed her kids. Her sons, 2-year-old and 18-month-old, by suffocation.
They're just babies.
She killed them. Characters is parasite. I think they got that one wrong on Murderpedia.
Oh my gosh, Murderpedia, I thought you were making that up.
I just found this for the first time. I typed in Shaquan Dooley's name and I was like, oh, Murderpedia. I should have been here the whole time. But turns out they don't get this shit right because she didn't do a
That's
parasite. Unless there's more here and she killed her mom later or some shit. I don't think so, though. Susan Smith, Mary Beth, Robin Lee. Oh, let's look at this one. Robin Lee Rowe. There's only a couple more left, and then we'll be out of here. There's no picture of her? What the shit? She killed her husband and her 2 children by setting her house on fire. When fire crews searched the scene of the burning structure, they found 3 bodies. Her husband, 34, Joshua, 10, and Tabitha, 8. They died
That's
of
a
carbon
terrible way
monoxide
to go
poisoning.
too. Like, how painful.
She turned the smoke alarm off, used an accelerant, and then left after she lit the fire.
And then she left because she's like, man, the house on fire. I got to get out of here.
Oh, whoa. It says further investigation concluding that in 1980, so 12 years prior, she and her son Keith were living in a cabin in California. Her son died in a fire that was caused by a portable heater that ignited his blankets. The boy died, and Roy collected $28,000 from his life insurance.
She murked her
12
son.
years later, she kills 3 more of her family in a fire. I bet she didn't get charged for that first one.
No. And I wonder if it was she really did it because for the insurance, or it really was an accident, a tragic accident. He died, and she realized I could have done on purpose, and I got away with it. Nobody even looked into it. I could do it again and just say it was a house fire.
Dude, Barbara could go interview her. She's in Pocatello. The only woman, she's the sole death row inmate. Oh, the only death row inmate. Oh, in Women's Correctional Center. She's in Idaho, Vicky. That's one of your ladies.
Idaho, Idaho.
Oh, Idaho. What happened to my? Something's happening on my end. That's weird.
What is it?
It's just the PDF won't load anymore. Sorry. China Arnold. This is one of the most, excuse me. This is probably one of the most disturbing ones. China. Just because of how she did it. Arnold. Murderpedia has her picture.
Oh.
She's called the microwave baby killer. If you had any questions about why I find this disturbing.
I wonder what bowling alley works at.
Then immediately, I want some cheese fries. Immediately. I don't bowl very well, but I know they got a snack bar. She put her 28-day-old baby in the microwave and turned it on. And because her and her boyfriend were having a dispute on who the daddy was, she microwaved her child.
What the fuck? 28 days old.
Yeah.
Minutes you put in a kid for? Let's try 5. And where's the dad?
I think they said she died within like the first 10 seconds or some shit like that.
Thank God.
Or I don't know, 10 seconds. It's really, really fast. Arnold, who had been convicted of abduction in 2000 and forgery in 2002, was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole on September 8, 2008 for killing her 28-day-old daughter, Paris. The infant was placed in a microwave oven for what analysts suspect was longer than 2 minutes and died shortly after removal. That's not what I read. Death occurred because her internal temperature reached critical temperatures. In the words of a medical examiner, she was cooked. At the time, Arnold lived with her children and her boyfriend, Terrell Talley, in a housing complex. Prosecutors say that she placed Paris into the microwave after an argument with Tilly over the baby's paternity. She told investigators that she was intoxicated. Arnold took Paris to the hospital the next day. Oh, what? Where she died from her injuries? She was arrested initially, then released due to lack of evidence. She was rearrested in November of 2006. When did she do it? I don't know when she did it. Yikes.
Dude, what the
Life in
fuck?
prison without parole. She will appeal the decision.
So her name's China. Her kid's name's Paris. I wonder what other kids' names are.
Alexis. Then Mercedes. I think that might be
Dude,
the last one. So yeah, that is it. So the ones that I found and put on my PDF. Disturbing, huh?
very disturbing.
So tomorrow is Halloween,
Are you
and
dressed-
now you are disturbed. Hold on. There's another thing. There's another kid that was murdered. This chick. Madeline McCann. Do you remember her? This is a
Uh-uh.
big case. They accused her parents of it for years and years. So their parents were on vacation, and they left the kids in the hotel room sleeping while they had dinner. Supposedly, you could see their room from where they ate, but I don't know how true any of that is. But when they came back, she was missing.
Oh shit.
And this says, is this they apologize? Portuguese police apologized to the McCann parents. This is 8 hours ago. Portuguese police have apologized to the parents of Madeline McCann for the way they handled the 3-year-old's disappearance. She went missing from a holiday complex in 2007. Delegation of senior officers traveled from Lisbon to London earlier this year. They met with Gary McCann, Madeline's father, and apologized for the way detectives investigated the case and treated the family. They've not commented. So one of the investigators actually, I think he wrote a book about why the parents are guilty of it. And the parents sued for defamation and lost. And
What?
now they have someone else that was arrested for this guy right here, Christian Bruckner.
Find her
He was
body?
charged. Huh?
Did they find her body?
I don't think so. But this guy, he was arrested for raping a 72-year-old woman. He was in the area and when this happened, and he's just a couple different abduction. Let's see. Attracted a lot of criticism. No.
I think I remember this case because that there were other witnesses that say they saw a man carrying a child, but since it's a like vacation property, they didn't think anything of it.
They accused these two, the Podesta brothers. This is where it got weird as far as conspiracy theorists went. Because of these mugshots.
They're like, forget that background, just crop it out.
Well, when you read this, there's one of these pictures is the first time they drew the guy, and they came back and when they redrew the same guy, they got the second picture. But they're like, oh, look, the Podesta brothers, here they are. Like, this is a picture of the same guy drawn at different times according to the file. So to say it, I don't know, it was always, to me, this was a reach. They might be into sharing pizzas and cheese and hot dogs and noodles and all the weird shit that these satanic ritual abusers do, but I don't believe they were involved in any way in the McCann disappearance. And then my favorite story of the day. Man pulls gun on TikTok pranksters who pretend to douse his truck in gas while holding a lighter. Hell yeah. This is a bad time for a cheer. This was gross. I guess. Real life is like that. Isn't that funny? I love this.
They're lucky they didn't get killed.
Well, yeah.
Like, that's not a prank. That's just not.
Yeah. I didn't really read through. I just saw the headline. I did a Nova. A headline and a picture, that's all I needed. What do you think his job is? Was?
He probably works for the like county utility service checking water.
I'll buy it. The only other stuff I had was a bunch of like statistics about Mom Sue murder. I kind of, what's this? Oh, I can't find it. But I think basically we kind of covered those to begin with, about how mothers usually kill their children before they're 1. Fathers are usually the ones that kill them when they're older than 1. I think today we debunked that. Actually, we didn't look at dads at all that were the murderers, but these women had no problem killing their children who were over 1. seems like. And then there's the Clancy case that's still ongoing that we'll find out hopefully this year. Probably not, probably next year. Actually, I think the Clancy is going to trial in 2024. She just got indicted September 23rd.
Well, she probably got months before.
I don't know. I don't know when this trial starts, but I would assume it's this year. Well, sister said,
Thanks for having me.
yeah, thanks for having the show with me. Do you want to say anything else?
Happy Halloween.
Oh, shoot. Tomorrow's Halloween. Are you going to dress up?
No, I'm going to call out sick to work.
Don't. Oh. I mean, they might be watching.
Yeah. I went to my doctor. I'll get a note.
Tomorrow, I'm going to do a show on this. I'll show you. Oh, I'm not sharing. Hold on. Justified or manslaughter. Agitated man dies after being subdued on the subway. The guy on the bottom with the curly hair, that's Mr. Penny. The guy in the chokehold is Mr. Neely.
Mhm.
And the one, Mr. Neely, was having a bad day, threatening people, allegedly. Mr. Penny wanted it not to be a thing, so he held him until police came. We will watch the video and we will talk about what we think about this. And now that I've said that, it might be a very short show. I don't know what else there is to talk about, but I'm doing this show with Beautifully Inappropriate tomorrow morning, same bat time.
Morning, so I can watch it because that sounds interesting.
This is in New York. I do find it interesting because it's like Rittenhouse. Actually, the thumbnail that I chose for this is let me see if I can find it. I think it says the next Rittenhouse or something like that, because yeah, I don't know, because of the details, I guess. So it'll be interesting as this one goes through court.
Yeah.
How it divides people. That's tomorrow's show. I'm just trying to pull up Twitter to get my new thumbnail, but I can't find it. Anyways, and then on Thursday, Vicky and I are going to do a night show, an evening show. It's 6 o'clock, 6-ish probably, Pacific time.
Okay.
And it's going to be about, we're going to just take a bunch of tests to find out if we're crazy people.
Oh, I want to do that too.
It's so fun, yeah, to see if you're psycho, to see if you're crazy. There's even a few tests we're going to take, like what if you were a color, what would you be?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to these shows this week.
Can we do a show together talking about like people's story about their horrible bosses and then like ranking them on how horrible your boss is, or are you just a shitty employee?
Yeah, we could
personal.
I like that. We could do a how bad is your boss story.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have enough bad boss lore to talk about it for a minute?
100%.
That's the thumbnail. So we could do a bad boss story. Huh?
I need a picture. What is my inappropriate? When you put me on there as inappropriately said, you got wings, she's got a unicorn. What do I get when you do me?
I'll show you.
Forget about this.
Well, you get one that says sister stream, but I actually didn't use it this time.
Well, because I don't have anything except for just an account to log in to talk to you. So
this one, share this tab. I'm going to show you. See here, right here, this little. Can you see this tab?
no.
No?
Oh, I see it now. Sister stream.
See this part right here says sister. That's what you get.
I like it. Thursday, my oldest son and I are getting matching tattoos.
What? Why? What is it going to be?
So it's a design that I drew myself. It's a couple of here, actually. If I text it to you, can you pop it on the screen?
Possibly.
Okay, let me text it to you. Let me see.
Sip said justified. Not a fan of the lack of thirst traps in the thumbnails. She has
Not a fan of what?
the lack of thirst traps in the thumbnails.
Oh,
Yeah, send it to me and I'll be able to pull it up.
okay. I just texted it to you.
Thanks for
There's your-
joining us, chat. Like the stream.
Yeah.
Hit the bell so you remember to come back tomorrow. Is my ringer off? Oh, it must be. What the shit? What is this? Hold on, don't tell me. Let me share it first and then you can explain it.
Okay.
Do you have a song in your head?
Do I have a what?
A song in your head?
I don't think so. Why?
I'm just curious.
Do I look like I have a song in my head?
No.
That's a weird question.
Oh, well. Welcome to Miami. Here it is. Holy shit, that took me forever. Forever, ever? Forever. Oh, it didn't work. Forever, ever, ever. Add. Send. Okay. I've got it. By George, I think I got it. Okay, well, one of them is super blurry.
They're the same picture, just different.
Yeah. Save. It's getting there. Almost there. Okay, one more step. Oh, it's there. Boom. What is it?
So I really like geometric designs and I wanted something super simple. And I thought, 2 circles, 2 lines, like no matter where your path takes you, like I'll always be by your side, like I've always got you.
Oh, that's good.
I just liked it.
And your other son, he's gonna be like, you want to get triangles with me?
So I
I
had
get the
drawn it
same one.
ways and then let Roy pick which one. The one that I really liked was the lines were crossed and there was a circle on each end and one was just slightly bigger than the other one. And he asked, he was like, well, what, does it mean something? I'm like, well, it just kind of means that no matter where your path takes you, like, like I'll always be there. That's why the lines are crossed, like crossing paths, but we're on opposite ends. But he liked this design the best. He said it was just simple and it's just a design. We'll know that we have matching ones. It's for us, but nothing else.
How big do you think you'll get it?
About that big. So, I mean, according to my ex-husband, it's about 12 inches long. Really, it's 3.
That's funny. Cool. Do you know where?
The back of my left calf,
Oh God.
and that's where he's getting it to. We're getting the same spot. Why? Oh God.
I don't find that to be like a feminine place for a tattoo. I don't like tattoos there. But
Well, where should I get it then? Where is a more feminine place?
do you want the placement to also match?
No, the placement doesn't have to match.
I don't know. I don't find women have very many places to get tattoos to keep it, you know what I mean? Like not, I don't know. Do you have anything behind your ear?
Oh no, I would never get it behind my ear. I don't like those.
Oh, they don't.
And I think it would be too big to go behind my ear anyway.
Yeah. Oh man, my head hurts. These things are like squeezing my face. My ears hurt. My head, everything hurts. I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel like my face bones hurt.
I just try and squeeze your brains out.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to dress up tomorrow for Halloween.
Sweet.
For my show because
Do the shadow makeup thing you did before one year.
The floating head?
Yeah.
That is a good one. I wonder if I have a picture of it. You should see. Oh, that's what I'll do tomorrow since there's not much to talk about after we do Neely and Penny. We
Mhm.
can just talk about Halloween stuff. Different Halloween makeups through the years, our favorite stuff. Maybe we can even do like Heidi Klum's makeup through the years.
You could do a tutorial. You could do it live.
Negative.
Ugh, people like that stuff.
I will already have makeup on when I start. I'll be someone else.
You could just not.
That's not going to happen.
Mm.
There's an illusion I'm trying to cultivate here. And don't start with me not wearing makeup, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. All right then.
And Vicky's, I'm pretty sure I am crazy. Ha! I'm pretty sure I am too. There's stuff where it's like, what do you see in this picture? And if you see a certain thing, it means you're like schizo. I'm like, what? I didn't look at any of them because I didn't want to be biased or swayed in any way. That's why I don't know that we should take IQ tests because I've taken them before. I don't know if it matters how, if you know what I mean? Like, kind
Yeah.
of, I know what, I don't, obviously you don't know the answers, but
You know, the
I feel like the
basic.
mystery of the test helps. You know, I feel like your first time you ever take an IQ test is probably your most accurate because you're not prepared.
Yeah.
It's
What is
literally.
anything cool about my tattoo?
Say it again.
I said, did chat say anything about my tattoo?
All of them were like, "Holy shit, that is dope! Way to go! Good job, best mom."
That's not what they said.
I think they might have. It's invisible ink. You wouldn't understand. I looked over there. They didn't really say much about it.
That means they don't love it.
They don't hate it, or they would have been like, it looks like a symbol for Boeing. Hold on, let me pull up the Boeing symbol, see how close I am. Boeing. Okay, so I'm wrong. I feel like it's an inspo.
I don't know what the Boeing picture looks like.
I can't find a big enough one to show you.
Oh, that was not even close.
Oh, it's fucking not even close. I see a line going through a circle. Fuck out of here. It's exactly the same. 2 lines even. Look, your paths are about to cross. Oh, look, they're going to have a baby. Oh, wait.
Okay.
They're going to be mother and child. Okay. So that was that. Sip says, I hate it. Just kidding. His second line was, I'm just kidding. He doesn't hate it. Nobody hates it. They love it. I think it's cool that you're doing it. But then you have another kid, so you always have to be like, and now when he asks.
Mm-hmm.
I have a tattoo on either my wrist for my kids' birthdays because I was only going to have 2, and then I had 3. My original tattoo I ever got in high school when I was still 15 says baby on my ankle. So I just tell the little one that was for him. I represent you all. You're the baby. There you is. I always wanted you since I'm little.
I got a tattoo to match you after you got one, so we are matching even though you didn't know.
Yeah. Another one of our sisters asked me for that template, and I did not give it to her.
Yeah, because she's not our sister. Also,
she kind of is. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. It's lunchtime. It's 11:40. Perfect timing. Sister said.
It's 2:30 here, so it's bedtime.
2:30 is dental time for the dentist. You know when it's time to go to the dentist? Oh wait, that's not how the joke goes. What time is it when you need to go to the dentist?
I don't know.
2:30.
Oh, 2:30.
I love that I got you with that note. Wow, I'm great at this. I do have a stand-up comedy routine. I could
Do you want to do it?
practice it on you.
Okay, do it.
Okay. What if somebody steals my what if somebody steals it?
The imitation best form of flattery.
No, bitch, they do be doing the stealing though. I wrote it down. I wrote it down because I was never gonna be able to remember my joke. I could just remember where I wrote it down. Oh no. Oh, I remember. What is the dentist's favorite time?
Is it 2:30? Back jokes. It's just like,
Okay. Okay. This is my joke. Did you tell her about no, I might have actually told her about Yale when I first heard that joke. It's, uh, this guy is getting a job. Have you heard? Okay, so this man is sitting there and he's getting a job, and the interviewee was like, of course we'll hire you. I mean, your resume is impressive. I mean, you've you're like way overqualified for this. I'm just curious. There's a gap here between today and when you went to Yale. What was no, sorry. Shit, I don't know how to do the joke. I'm sorry, Vicky. I ruined it. I never tried to really do it except for so her husband told me this joke and I thought it was wonderful. I've never tried to re-say it. Basically, I don't remember it at all. But get that joke. I got a better one. Okay. And by better, I mean mediocre at best. And just leave now so you're not tortured by this. Okay. I don't know how to start jokes. So when the idea popped into my head, I just wrote it down. And I thought as I like think of it, it'll help it'll like mold itself into a story that makes sense. Do you understand how kind of jokes work?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is how this one starts. So I don't usually leave home. And you could tell by the way that my dogs react. On my way down here to the comedy store tonight, I looked over at my big dog and I swear to you, he looked me too'd. I mean, I'm pretty sure he doesn't know what me too'd is, but I could tell by the look on his face that he's feeling a little bit like I was taking advantage of him. I doubt he knows what I'm talking about, but it's funny that if you say me too, that like when I say my dog was me too'd, you automatically just picture my dog in a hotel room at like midnight trying to further his career or whatever. But that's actually not what I meant. It's just, he looks like I left him. And it's funny to say me too'd. Anyways, that got me thinking about other 2-word phrases like me too that you wouldn't really know what they were talking about if you just heard them said, but like everyone knows what they are. Cause like me too used to mean like also me. Like I want to go to the store also, or like, did she leave? Is this the worst joke ever? Either way. So I was thinking, are there any other 2-word phrases that everyone knows that means something that doesn't sound like it would mean? And I thought about it. I think the OG me too is going postal, right? Because if you go postal, you definitely didn't just send a letter. It's not tax season. You murdered everyone or whatever. You went crazy at your work, right? So the original me too, I think, was go postal. If somebody says I want to go postal, I mean, that's usually unless you're like an infant and you don't know what going postal means. Oh, the word I don't know why this part of my she's back. She's kind of wasn't
My
that bad?
thing, no, I was like, wait, the last thing I heard was if you do something about the dog, if you would say me too. And then just my internet totally cut off and I had to restart it.
That's okay. That part this is like the most non-polished joke you'll ever heard ever, but I think you'll get the gist of it. Basically, my dog, I just needed the dog part to get to the me too part because me too is a two-word phrase that like means a thing and like everyone knows that it doesn't
Right.
mean like also me. Well,
Right.
it means, So then the next phrase I was like, well, what else is there that's a 2-word thing that means something else? And I said, probably going postal. If you say going postal,
Oh,
almost everyone knows who that is, unless you're like literally an infant. But then I was like, but then there's that word literally. When the fuck did literally start not meaning literally? Because seriously, when people use the word literally wrong, I want to go postal. Can I get a me too?
me too.
That's my joke.
That's
It's
funny.
like, it's rough. I don't know actually how to tell it yet, but when it came to my mind, I'm like, that's kind of funny. I should write that down so I don't
That
forget.
is funny.
Yeah.
I like it.
I get a me too, so you go post all these fuckers who don't know how to say literally correctly. It's a lot.
One gets me too.
It seems pretty polished to me. Vicky and I have the same view. You'll be okay, Div. Div, your jokes on the fly are amazing. Oh my, I thought when she said on the fly, I was like, is she talking about that fly that I murdered in my toaster? She might not know about him. Thank you. Thanks,
Mom's
guys.
murder.
We'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Please come in your makeup chat. You're not allowed to chat unless you're wearing your makeup. No, but I will have my makeup done tomorrow.
Well, I hope you have a good Halloween show.
Thank you. I hope you show up into our audience. Are you going to be home?
Yeah, I'm gonna be home because I'm sick tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you weren't feeling well.
Yeah.
Call
Okay.
yourself. I hear you're a paramedic. Is your number still 911?
It is. That's exactly right.
Y'all can call her if you want some CPR, some mouth to mouth.
I'm gonna call my supervisor and tell him I have a medical condition and I can't come in tomorrow. Anyhow, all right. Well, love you. Have a good
Love
day.
you. Adios. Bye, guys.